Yo, I put it like wow, this that sound. These dogs don't work hard like me, I hope they know by now. Bayo bad, stand my ground. Bro, these money trees go overseas like Percy Tau. I make sure you stay around, quiet when I'm on the loud. No negatives allowed, me and positivity took a vow. I always play to win, don't anticipate loss. Mind always in the clown, my boy. Never think about the drop, never ever ever think about the drop.
Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT Show with me, MKT, and nobody else. That's an executive decision I just made now. Now, that puts Paulo in a position because he's decided to come all the way to the studio and actually be here. That puts you in a position, obviously, as the listener. A professional would say, actually, it's about the listeners. But today, I'm just making it about myself. But Paulo's here. He's an adult. He pays tax, I believe. I don't know that for a fact. So I might as well say hi. Paulo Diaz, what's happening?
They're going to get you on home office expenses.
Is that what it is?
It's not that easy to shimmy. I know a lot of people, COVID, work from home, home office.
Yeah.
Big bonanza from SARS, claiming all of it. Paper.
Yes.
Coffee.
Can you claim that?
Ha! So they thought.
It's like a drug dealer, you know? They never get you on the cocaine. They always get you on like a tax infringement or whatever.
Well, that's it. That's what I mean. Al Capone went down for tax evasion.
Yeah. They never get you for.
They never get you.
That's how you get. Although, now I don't know if this is racist because you come from an Iberian sort of tribe. It's a bit of a suggestion in that part of the world to not pay tax because it seems they just give suspended sentences. No one seems to go to jail for that. I mean, Jose Mourinho, Ronaldo, Messi.
But that's like not normal people.
You got to be rich enough to.
Yeah, I mean that's super rich. Who's super rich ever get punished for anything? They get fined legalese, red tape. Someone didn't put a stamp. Get up.
Get richer. Get richer.
That's the solution to everything. Oh, I hate my job. Get richer. Oh, my wife's ugly. Get richer.
Yeah.
Oh, my husband's a fat slob.
Yeah.
Get richer.
Yeah.
Get richer.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
No, that's
children.
Get richer.
Get richer.
Wise words. Now, Paulo, I don't know how you're feeling about Manchester United last night, so I don't know if you want to start there quickly. Are you feeling any better or worse from what you saw last night?
I relate to you because I feel these past few games, I find it very hard to get excited about this interim before the interim. It's kind of like the Goose Hiddink paradox.
You. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You guys experience it because you go, well, I know you're not there for long term. Do I commit to you? How do I feel? So it's been very difficult to get excited. However, it's been encouraging because it's been 3 very different games.
Yeah.
Needing 3 very different results. And we got them in 3 very different ways.
Got you.
So it goes that, and let's not get it wrong, right? Carrick didn't suddenly in 10 days figure this all out.
Yeah.
The players have been training for this, working on this, plotting for this. They either, through a combination of didn't want to hear it from Solskjaer, or he was unable to tell it to them.
Yeah.
And he probably would walk in, have a sheet full of things to talk about, and then just went, guys, we're Manchester United. Shrugging his shoulders, we're Manchester United. So they either didn't want to listen to him. So I think it's encouraging that there's been a bit of adaptability, couple of different formations, some interesting things, different ways of playing. So I think there's a lot to work with.
Cristiano Ronaldo, 800 goals. What a guy.
Outrageous. But he's the problem though. He's the problem for Manchester United. He's the problem for Portugal. He is the problem at Juventus. He's the man is a problem. He does the one thing you do in football.
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing to do in football?
Score goals. 100%.
He's the problem, though. This is our world. This is our participation trophy generation come to roost. Because he's so good,
Yeah.
he shows how bad everyone else is.
That's what greatness does. It exposes all your
So
flaws.
he's the problem.
You know what he reminds me of? You're right. He is the problem because with my first girlfriend, I was a terrible human then and she was awesome. And I tried to do the whole it's not you, it's me thing, except it was actually true because she was like so consistent and nice. That's Ronaldo's problem, is that he's not the problem and thus he is the problem because Man United have so many problems.
Ronaldo, you expect too much from me.
That's the problem.
I can't live up to your standards. How many of us have broken up? 'Cause I can't live up to your expectations.
That's what
of
it is.
me. That's what this is. I'm not going to make myself better.
No.
You've got to lower your standards
That's
to me. This is the world we're in. We're in the worst episode of Beverly Hills 90210 imaginable.
Well, there you have it. Cristiano Ronaldo. Paulo Diaz from a region of the world where if you're super rich, tax is just a suggestion. Friday 5 today. Paulo mentioned a guy called Goose Hiddink. We'll talk about the 5 greatest interim managers, in my opinion, of the modern game in England. And then we'll talk, hey, Premier League, there's still some big games to come. And now we're starting to see, we're getting to the championship rounds now. Right, is December generally decides what goes on because now it's Tuesday, it's weekend, Wednesday, weekend, Champions League weekend. So now we get into the business end. So we'll look at the Premier League stuff that's coming up this weekend. And then Paulo's Weird World of Football, folks. The La Liga edition. I'm looking forward to hearing what we're going to talk about there. All right, it is the MKT Show. We're going to take a little break and get things underway on the other side. All right, Ryan bought tickets to Justin Bieber, and that is incredible news for me to talk about.
So, I heard rumors that tickets for Justin Bieber were going between 8 and 40,000 rand. I don't understand how this is true because the tickets aren't even out there yet.
Wow.
Because today was the Discovery, if you have a Discovery card, you could buy tickets first.
We have a man who's got tickets.
Let's find out.
Ryan, let's start with the first
Discovery,
question.
Pre-ticket sale was yesterday.
Okay, but hold on.
Oh,
Ryan, hold on. I want to know, $800 to 40,000 rand. True, lies?
8,000 to 40,000.
For one ticket?
That's what I heard.
Sorry?
8,000 rand for one ticket?
No. So it seems because I didn't see the prices until I actually got in to the website, and it was actually VIP packages. So it comes with a whole bunch of stuff, but I didn't have time to research that. I just checked the little map, and then I saw where I wanted to stand or sit, and then yeah. But tickets, the most expensive ticket, if you wanted a box seat, it was 2,800
Rand.
Yeah.
So where is the concert? Have you gone Cape Town, Johannesburg?
I've gone Johannesburg.
And where is it going to be in Johannesburg?
FNB Stadium.
Oh boy.
But it's only in October next year, so
FNB Stadium, huh?
yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
October next year. Yeah,
October next year.
that computes.
That's amazing. So what happens if Omicron 6 version 6 is out by then? Is there a refund policy, or you just don't care? You're just thinking, baby, ooh.
I'm holding high hopes of we can get back to normal as soon as possible, and then hopefully things have calmed down. It's only in October, So obviously attending it now would be a bad idea. But maybe in October. If not, you just sell it to the riskier.
Oh, the lols we had. The lols we had in December last year going, by October it'll be fine.
Back to normal.
Everything will be okay. Don't worry about it. Oh, the lols we were having
Here
last
he is,
year.
right. So you spend a bit of dosh on that ticket. Now tell me, are you going by yourself?
No, I bought 2. Always buy 2.
Okay, Ryan. Do we need to have a conversation here? Because concerts, like Justin Bieber, often not a single man's outing. Is there somebody in particular, or you contingency?
There are only 3 types of man you see at a Justin Bieber concert.
Yes.
Boyfriends,
Yep.
dads, gay guys.
Now, that is
Right?
not a lie. Yep.
So Ryan does not. Which of those 3 does he fit into?
Got to be one of them.
I've gone to every show he's been here for, so I felt like I couldn't sit this one out. That's why James is not here. He took the day off to buy tickets.
Okay, no, a great way to swerve the question there. So, because the only real option there was gay guy for you, Ryan, unless
Well,
you,
because he met a girl in Cape Town.
he
remember?
did on
Wasn't
the
he
beach.
at Shimmy Beach or something?
Yeah, he had Jordans on. He had Jordans on the beach, and that lady thought, "Oh, that's
Camps Bay 4.
yeah. Look how he's expressing himself with Jordans and long pants on the beach. Let me go talk to that guy."
No, but just remember, I wasn't planning on going to the beach that day. I just happened to be near the beach, and I walked down, and I discovered this bar. And
Yeah.
I was like, cool, let's go have a drink there. It wasn't, let me go home, change into beachwear. It was, I had to roll at the moment, and I just happened to look like a Joe Burger as I rocked up.
Okay, but now tell me this: you've also done incredibly well. You should consider politics at some stage here, Ryan. Is who you're going with to the concert? Like we know we can't really move on until we know why you bought 2 tickets, especially now knowing they cost a fortune. So, is there somebody in mind, or are you just thinking within the next 10 months, kind of like COVID? You're like, hopefully by then things will have changed, and you're taking
Yeah.
man or woman
Yeah,
with you.
I'm just going to run with it and see what happens.
He's really good, hey? He's really good.
He's excellent, this guy.
He dodged it all. He's changed the conversation.
Yeah.
Doesn't give away, doesn't incriminate himself. The guy's good.
Growing up in the West Rand, though, that's what it'll do for you, is you're able to navigate the streets. You know, nobody's going to put, shout out Patrick Swayze, but nobody puts baby in a corner. This time it's Ryan who wears Jordans on the beach. Barrett Edelstein says, yes, we will be joining Ryan at the concert. Got my tickets. Now, Barrett has his tickets too. Maybe you guys should have spoken and maybe just got 1 ticket each next to each other, or one of you should have bought for both of you guys. This is what happens when you guys don't communicate.
By the way, Barrett is our colleague. He's
Yeah.
also one of the co-presenters on that 80 show. That guy is a concert maven. Can I say maven? I think
Yeah,
that's the right
yes.
word. Let him get into telling you the concerts he's been to.
I can only imagine.
Enrique
it's
Iglesias
crazy.
called him up on stage. When he was a child,
What?
he went to watch Boney M.
No.
They called all the little children on the stage,
Yeah?
laid hands upon him, and sang The Rivers of Babylon.
No, you're joking.
As a child. This is why Barrett is blessed. By Boney M.
Are you joking?
They laid hands upon him
But-
as a child. The concerts he has been to.
If there's one person I'm not surprised with, though, it's Barrett.
No, of course.
He is the most into music person and moving and grooving the charts. And also, I always say you can't meet Barrett, you have to experience him. Boney M saw him and thought that child was probably born in the rivers
blessed.
of Babylon.
He's blessed.
He really is. And it's a blessing to have to talk to Barrett, because it is a whole experience. And he's electric. I love that
Barrett
guy.
can comment, if he's watching the show live, to comment. Barrett, please give me permission to tell this. Barrett's a part-time spin instructor.
Yes.
Barrett, please give me permission to tell about, despite a spinning instructor, your relationship with bicycles. I would love to tell.
I do know.
We do not. We'd love your permission to be able to tell that.
All right. Tracy Bard says, the question here is, why? Unless you're a 15-year-old girl, why? Now, Ryan, that's directed at you. Justin Bieber, 2 tickets. They cost a fortune. You didn't talk to Barrett, and you're hoping things will change, and hopefully you aren't the gay guy or presumed gay guy at the concert alone, because you are actually looking for a lady, but now you bought 2 tickets and nobody's going to buy them at 40 grand a ticket.
Yeah, but you see, that's also the opportunity missed here. You're going to a concert where there's going to be a bunch of single ladies going to see.
No, but
biggest pop star in the
hold
world.
on. But I think you don't realize, you're just talking against yourself there, is you've missed the opportunity by buying 2 tickets.
That's
you should have
also
just
true.
bought. So you've chosen
Well-
not to meet a girl, is what you're saying.
I don't like going to concerts on my own. So, and it doesn't say whose name is on that ticket. I could go with a friend, or it could be a good money bag later.
Or actually, you know what? It's smart. Actually, I'm on your side now. I've turned it around.
Okay.
I know where this works. Ryan, as we now know, I don't want to really gild the lily, but he's trying to change the situation from single to it's complicated, right?
Right.
There's some other stuff happening, weddings, a lot of peer pressure, blah blah blah. It's a great first date. Like, it's very tough to go to a concert.
Great.
Great
It's
first date.
it's an outstanding first date, I would say. I mean, it's Justin Bieber, the biggest pop star of all time.
Wait, are you trying to ask me out now?
No,
I don't really like Justin
I'm
Bieber,
just-
but
I
thanks
don't
for the
know
offer.
if it is a
Really
good first
emphasizing
date
the fact.
because,
All right, Ryan, listen up here. Here's a man who's married and has a beautiful wife and a family.
like, theoretically, firstly, all I say is start as you mean to go on.
Yes.
So now it means if you start on Justin Bieber, I mean, what's next?
Yeah, that's true. That
Billie
is-
Eilish in London.
yeah,
That's
What's
sick.
after that?
yeah, that's true.
Adele in Dubai. Like where does this end?
Yeah,
right?
a Prince hologram in Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying, right?
It's a good point.
So, and then it takes away the awkwardness because you don't have to keep up conversation, but you can have no conversation. Other guys are going to be checking out because guys who go to concerts are
100%.
pigs,
100%,
right?
yeah.
You're going to be eating stadium food,
That's it.
like those gross little donuts.
What if she gets unwell now? Oh, I'm not feeling so good.
And she sees you and you got like those gross little donut stuff in your beard.
Yeah, plus you've got a ginger beard there, Ryan, as well. You'll be able to see the sugar.
You're definitely getting mugged outside soccer. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
gonna
sorry.
happen. It's
I'm
gonna
sorry.
happen. It's gonna happen.
You're gonna get mugged.
It's gonna happen.
Gonna
No,
happen.
well, if you navigate correctly, I think you can avoid it. I've gone. All my concerts have been at the F&B, and I haven't been mugged once. But also,
Oh, you're
Yet.
built like the F&B
Yet.
stadium. So I mean, I also wouldn't mug you.
Yeah, Ryan is a very, very big man. Gentle giant, all Ryan. Now, Barrett Edelson says, yes, you are more than welcome. Now,
I
Paolo,
believe that's permission for Paolo
to tell the bicycle story. Now, I just want to finish off the date thing with you quickly, Ryan. Let's round that up. So, what I would do if I was you, at least 3 people that are completely, at the moment you feel they're out of your sphere, I would have those 3 on the list as, hey, let's just go to Justin Bieber, because you never know where it could go with people you never even thought you could date. That's what I'd do. I'd have a list. Please don't improvise at the end. That would go wrong. That's just my advice. Because
Good as a group date. Good as a group date.
But now you'd have to buy, 3 more tickets?
Maybe other people won't. Ryan is a group date.
It can be, or
Again.
you find other people who have tickets.
This
This
guy.
is, Ryan, huh?
But I see where you guys are going with this. So
No, I just want things to work out for you. But also, I'm with Paolo, is maybe a terrible first date. Don't use it as a first date, because Justin Bieber, are you joking, dude? Then she's like, oh, this guy, Bieber is the first date. You can never eat at Spur ever again. Not with her.
He works on a big time YouTube show.
You know what I mean?
I mean, the biggest sports show in Africa.
Yeah.
People's favorite podcast of the year.
Yeah.
To some people.
He wears Jordans on the beach.
He wears Jordans on the beach. That means he has so little respect for those Jordans
Yeah.
to wear them on the beach.
So smart, Paolo. All right. That's enough dating advice. Paolo, Barrett, bicycle. Go ahead.
So, like we say, Barrett needs to be. He's not a person. He's an experience.
Yeah.
He is the most. I'm so glad I met him this year. I'm so glad I did.
Likewise.
Really, what a fantastic, outrageous guy.
Yeah.
It's his birthday coming up. Happy birthday, Barrett. On the show, everyone wish Barrett a happy birthday.
Yeah.
He's a spin instructor, right? There you go. Spinning, strong guy, does sessions,
Yeah.
puts his music playlist. So he'd be a fantastic spin instructor, no doubt about it. He says to me the other day, people always think because I'm a spin instructor, I ride the 947, the Cape Argus for internationals. Those are big cycle races.
Yeah.
I can't ride a bicycle.
Can't ride a bicycle. Barrett Edels.
My wife snorted.
Yeah.
She laughed so much.
Yeah, no, that's Barrett.
A spin instructor cannot. I can understand why. The bike's stable, but you'd think.
Yeah. No.
No, never learned to ride a bicycle, stopped.
And Barrett thought I was ridiculous for saying exactly that.
Oh my God, it was hilarious.
No, it's the best.
It's the best. It's the best, it's Barrett.
Yeah, he a big Kylie Minogue fan, that guy. He got
Huge.
got a Kylie shirt for his birthday. Through the roof.
Listen to the Proud of That 80 show today. It's on cliffcentral.com where we talk about that Kylie shirt.
Yeah.
And nipple placement.
I mean, what more
That's called the tease.
That is incredible tease. That 80 Show available, cliffcentral.com, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Just search That 80 Show SA.
That 80 Show SA. All right, before we get to the sports, Simpiwe Mtetwa says, fun fact, Barrett bought one ticket. He is going all by himself.
Barrett's a manifestation of multiple people. He's like Doctor Strange in the multiverse. He will turn into 2 or 3 people to attend it with himself. And then morph back into one and come back. He's a savant, that guy. He's not of our earth.
So, Ryan, there's an option. I mean, should things, Barrett's already there. He'll be a great wing person, by the way.
Maybe he can get us up on stage.
He definitely will.
It's going to happen.
He definitely will.
He knows the lyrics better than Justin Bieber does of the song. He might even get up there and go, no, you missed the timing on that second line. Barrett will. That guy is electric. So maybe you guys get it together. Barrett gives you some advice of how to kind of do the dating thing. Should it be a first date? I love Barrett, by the way. That guy.
I think we have
the
have
best.
10 months to plan it. So
Well, it's COVID months. It's not. These aren't normal months. Before you know it, it is October, and it's. You know what you sound like? You sound like the guy who's going to only plan it in September. You're like, I got plenty of time. You've got to have a plan. And listen, Ryan, a bad plan is better than no plan. A bad plan is better than no plan.
Yeah.
So that has to be your approach. All right.
I got a whole situation. It's in October. I think a couple of days. I'm not sure what date the concert is, but the 5th of October is my daughter's 12th birthday.
Does she love Justin Bieber?
She would love the concert of Justin Bieber. I don't think she loves. But who doesn't love a concert, especially when you're 12?
No, that's true.
So this is dad of the year stuff.
No, but 12 is that's kind of a dangerous age. When do kids want you to leave them alone?
She will never.
Okay, she's not that type.
Trust me, she will never.
She has, no choice.
No, well, it's a
great
Portuguese
gift,
daughter.
then.
Like, of course, I'm a hero. I mean, my intention is to set such ridiculously high standards for her
Yes.
that no guy ever comes close.
That is
So a
so.
life of disappointment to her.
I've always
Good for me.
people say I'm patriarchal for agreeing with you there, but I've always said if I have a daughter, she's probably living at home till she's 40 and a burqa.
People want shotguns. I'm like, don't. Expectations.
So what do you do? But then that golden circle, you need to have her in golden circle.
Means I got to stand. Forget about it. So that's why we haven't bought tickets today. We'll do seats. Seats don't sell out quickly.
So you're gonna go, huh?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go. Do that. Why not?
You have to. All right.
Ryan, get online. Book
Paolo
me
probably
some
get
tickets.
gifted tickets.
What's that?
Paolo will probably get gifted.
I don't know if you get gifted Bieber tickets. I mean, Paolo probably, although he'll.
Paolo
Ryan,
knows some powerful names. You know what I mean?
He has been working incredibly hard for around 25, 30 years just to get into this position. So, but Ryan, no big deal. He's probably going to have much nicer tickets than you. So don't feel bad about that. It's just the way the world goes. Welcome. Give us some of that music so that I can give you the Friday 5. Ryan, good for you, man. It's going to go well. It's going to be fine, right?
Listen, this is going to be fantastic. Nothing can go wrong. Ryan's got it all thought out.
Yeah. I don't think he has. It's going to be a disaster. Actually, I've changed my mind. All right, it is the Friday 5. Michael Carrick has officially left Manchester United. He says, you know what? You guys have bullied me enough on social media. I'm one of the greatest midfielders the Premier League's ever seen. I'm not here for this. He's decided officially that he will be leaving Manchester United. So let's see how that goes. I don't know if that leaves the door open. I mean, it's been pretty ugly, right? The last 6 months. Oh boy. The Fletcher might be next. We don't know. But in the meantime, he was the interim to the interim. Hashtag Ralph in. But I want to give you the 5 greatest, right, interim managers in English Premier League history. At number 5, listen, I just want to give him this award for going from nowhere to having the biggest job possibly in the world. And I know this sounds crazy, but this might be the biggest job in the world. At number 5, a Norwegian from, I think he's from Oslo. I'll just say he's from Oslo. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Listen, to be an interim and have the best job in the world, or certainly the biggest, I don't know if it's the best, for 3 years, that's awesome. Just like props for that. You don't need stats, I don't need details. For 3 years, this guy had the preeminent sporting job on planet Earth. Shout out to Ollie, man. I mean, they do it different in Norway, huh? All right, Ollie, good luck moving forward. Not sure he'll ever be able to get the same high again in terms of any job. I mean, he could get any job in the world. Tough to replace being Man United manager. At number 4, this one works out for me because He came, he was an interim. They called him a fat Spanish waiter. And ladies and gentlemen, he won the Europa League while he was on caretaker duty at number 4. I think he's great. The great Rafa Benitez. He came to Chelsea and they won the Euro. There he is. There's Rafa going, yeah, you guys call me fat. Look at me now. Look at me now. I've done it again. I did it at Valencia. I did it at Liverpool. And I did it at Chelsea. Rafa Benitez at number 4. He won the Europa League for Chelsea. Incredible. Just incredible. At number 3, Valencia twice. Chelsea twice. The Netherlands twice. This guy's been everywhere where you can manage. And I want to give him number 3 just for being able to get Roman Abramovich to believe in him 3 times. Like, who is this guy? He almost has that cool accent from the country he's from, because sometimes you can't understand them and it just sounds like he wants to wear clogs and I don't know, go stomping around. But at number 3, Goose Hiddink. What an enigma, this guy. Like, how did he kept getting, he was at Real Madrid at a stage, you know, like it didn't really work at PSV, and he was there twice. And then he was at Real Madrid, and he was at Chelsea twice, Holland, China. But this guy, he's the interim. He's figured out the matrix. This guy at number 3, Goose Hiddink. At number 2, I don't think we need to. I mean, this one is quite easy, right? Is that he saved everybody outside of West Brom in the Premier League. Like, he is an exceptional keep you up manager. He did an incredible job at Bolton, where he took them to 8th with Ivan Campo, with the greatest afro maybe the Premier League's ever seen. At number 2, the one and only, didn't go so well at England, but it went incredibly well everywhere else, and he's made bucket loads of money. Newcastle, Palace, Everton, SOS Sam at number 2, Sam Allardyce, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, you think about saving your club, this is the guy you get. It's like, I don't know why Newcastle didn't go back here, because he's actually the guy. He's the guy they should have gone to. Like, bury the past. This is the guy you should have had till the end of the season. And SOS Sam, no longer employed. I think he'll get another job. He's a rescue guy. At number 1, Andre Villas-Boas tried to come in, right? And he had all the pressure of the new Mourinho. Chelsea said, welcome, we're going to do it with you. But there was too many apex figures in the dressing room at the time, and he tried to revolutionize the dressing room immediately. It didn't work. Terry, Lampard, Drogba, they all voted him out, and then he was gone. And then what happened? This guy came through, FA Cup and Champions League double. I don't think he gets enough credit for the FA Cup, because it was dwarfed by an incredible Champions League victory, because he beat Manuel Neuer, Philipp Lahm, Kroos, Robben, Müller, and Ribéry with the following names in the team: Bosingwa, Cahill, Mikel, Kalou, and Ryan Bertrand starting in the Champions League final. And he went and beat Neuer, Lahm, Kroos, Robben, Müller, Ribéry. At number 1, the greatest interim job I've ever seen is Bobby Di Matteo. Robert Di Matteo, listen, he was gone 6 months later, but he's the interim. 6 months after winning the Champions League and the FA Cup double, Roman Abramovich said, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. But I've never seen a job like that, Paolo. Guy comes in, AVB, a little bit like Ryan's copper beard, you know what I mean? Educated, smart, almost too smart. Terry said, nah, this ain't gonna work. We're not playing a high line. Get out of here. Bobby Di Matteo, dream job of all time.
You said he was gone 6 months later. Did he last that long?
Well, yeah, 6 months after. Yeah, because
Didn't they bin him almost immediately?
Well, no, because I mean 6 months after, because I include pre-season.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a couple.
So he started the next season. I thought he didn't make it.
No, he made the next season.
Yeah, listen, that was a phenomenal job. Completely turned it around. Villas-Boas he gets sniffed out in football because football don't like rich guys. He's very wealthy. He's a viscount.
What?
A viscount. Did I say it wrong? Viscount.
No. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
So you get like dukes and duchess.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then underneath that you get viscounts. Villas-Boas is a viscount. So he's a landowner. He would be a ruler of people if this was olden day times.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
what?
he's like aristocracy.
So his father is like part of the
family something. Yeah, he's aristocracy. So he comes from huge money, not nice money.
Yeah,
huge money and huge influence.
He'll never be poor, even if he didn't work.
Forget it. No, never.
The state of Portugal is giving him probably 2 million euros a year. Or whatever.
Yeah. I think he's a viscount. I think that's how you say. Yeah.
That means there is land which he owns, which no one can take from him,
and nobody even knows how he came to own it. It's just family land. And not a plot, like land.
Yeah, no.
As far as you can see, that's mine.
Quite literally villas.
Villas, proper land, people, slaves, all of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so that's him. But Bobby D, and he's never got a job since.
No, come on. Yeah, that was the gravy train, right?
That was a gravy train.
Yeah, I mean, you had those guys running it. They're like Louise at his apex. Terry,
Well, that's it. The job was easy.
check.
He just came in because Villas-Boas is also another one that wants to micromanager.
Yeah.
Micromanager, right? And his Porto teams before he came to Chelsea were phenomenal. Probably the best football playing teams in Portugal over the past 10 years, 15 years. Really.
Yeah.
That's how good they were. They're beautiful playing teams. And these guys don't want that. I don't want to learn new. And all Bobby did is, well, what do you guys want to do? Do what you want to do.
FA Cup and Champions League double. You know, a few people have done that.
And we're not talking about a team that's used to that, right? That was
Yeah,
Chelsea's,
no. That,
did they lose the final first?
yeah, because that was 08,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this was the 12 final.
Yeah.
I was at the 08 one.
So
It was wicked.
it's not like you're quite correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like Real Madrid
Yeah.
or an AC Milan that's used to it. No, he came in out of nowhere
No, it was the first Champions League. Well, it was
and
the
with
first.
an aging squad.
It was the first Champions League win Chelsea ever had.
Yeah. Good for him. Well done, Bobby D. That's how you interim. That is how you interim.
Forevermore.
That's how you fill in.
That's exactly it, right? Substitute teachers must be substitute
That's
teachers,
it.
right?
You don't want to become the principal. Don't walk in. Know your place. That's why I'm glad Carrick stepped away and leaves the club altogether. I like that.
I said, Michael Carrick, if I was Carrick, right? I said it on the show last week to Senzo, was if I was Carrick, I would have requested to become like an under 21 coach or whatever, because just to observe the landscape, like sometimes while there's chaos, you don't want to be in there.
But I think, so for that reason, I think it's even better that he stepped away. Go away, get out of it. He went from playing to managing and nightmare management.
Yeah.
Get away from it, recharge, and you can always come back. They'll always take you back.
Academy coach.
Get away from it for a little bit. I think he's doing well. Clever. Listen, Michael Carrick never got the credit, never got the criticism. Always excellent.
Yeah.
No one ever noticed. And that's what he's doing. No one ever noticed.
That's the best.
Always excellent.
Human metronome, that guy.
Always excellent. Most underrated player. Unfortunately, with Lampard and Gerrard, the English love that.
Yeah. No, you're not going to.
If Carrick was Italian, we'd be talking about legendary, all-time great.
But I think now that the dust has settled, it's like, and you don't have to be like a football, like cool guy to say that was he was a great player. He was an apex when they were winning 3 titles in a row. He was right literally at the center of it.
Yeah.
Like now that the dust has settled and we can relax, because sometimes you got Paul Scholes and there's a left winger who with dark hair who I forget what his surname is. He wore 11. He was in the mix.
Kind of like we got this thing on the desk there. Kind of like if you had to.
Yeah, he looks.
Imagine.
Yeah,
it would be
someone who looks a little bit
like that,
like this here.
but not him.
No, but not him. But there was a guy who would overshadow you that kind of would look like this if
Yeah.
he was a model of what this person I'm talking about. Tough for Michael Carrick to get credit there. Because Ronaldo, Tevez is also in there. Then there's Vidic and there's Ferdinand and there's... But he's making it all work. And if there's one thing Fergie's never been wrong about, it's winning midfielders.
Yeah.
Right? Hey?
Yeah.
Michael Carrick. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you can leave it in the comments. What should Ryan do with those tickets? Right? Should he go by himself? Should he give it to 2 ladies that he likes and let them compete at the concert? Like, I don't know. Let's get some suggestions going. You can comment if you're joining us on YouTube. Otherwise, it is you can go the MKT Show across every single platform. Let us know on Twitter. What should Ryan do with these tickets? Because he's got 2 tickets now. He's thinking of going by himself and possibly taking a chance at the last minute. I don't think that's a good plan. Paolo's going to have nice seats. Paolo will have way better seats than Ryan. Ryan's going to get there, start crying in front of the girl. That's not a good way to have a first date.
God.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's Paolo. Look at him eating prawn sandwiches.
Oh no, that will not be me.
You don't eat prawn sandwiches?
No, that'll not be me. But I will be sitting.
I'm happy for your daughter. That you want to, like, if you're trying to be dad of the year, I wish I was her right now.
Yeah.
She's about to have an electric, because she's about to become a teenager. Oh my word. Imagine her 13th birthday.
That's the thing. Quinceañera. It's -2.
Now, Ryan, la quinceañera. You know that? I thought it was more of a Spanish thing. Is it also a Portuguese?
No, it's a Spanish thing. It's Mexican. I think it's even
I thought it
Mexican.
was a
I think
Jewish
it's Spanish.
No, it's not a Jewish thing.
Okay.
No, that's a bat mitzvah. But same thing, actually. It's when you go from liking Justin Bieber to dad, don't come near me. It's when you go from girl to woman. Good luck to Ryan. What should we do with those tickets? It's the MKT Show. My legs are still like jelly. I ran 100 kilometers about a week ago over mountains in Cape Town. So I just thought I'd update you. A lot of people keep asking me, are your legs still sore? Yes, my legs are still extremely sore, especially in the quad region.
Yeah, the quadriceps always going to get you.
It will, and it is actually. I say will as though it's going to in the future.
No, got you.
No, it's currently not great.
Getting you, yeah.
Not great. Speaking of which, Paulo, there's a bit of a situation going on. I do have feedback for you on the situation where you gave some good advice, which I passed on to a friend of mine. He was going through a situation in terms of should he approach somebody who has been his best friend? Should he approach her and go for it? He did go for it after I gave him some advice, and he saw the show. He texted me. I didn't know he watched the show, which is weird because we're extremely close. But he does watch the show. He heard us talking about it, and he heard your advice. And then I said, yeah, I totally agree with Paulo. Although you brought up a lot of circumstances about how close were they, and I said they were as close. And it turned out a lot of the, has he seen her naked? Yes. I asked all of those great questions you asked. And then he still went for it. And I do have some feedback.
Phil, this is being set up for disappointment. Let's go. Let's hear it.
She said, I need some space to think about it.
There it is.
So what happens when you go for a Tim Tam?
What is that? What does that mean, right?
Huh?
She needs some space to think about it.
No, but you see...
Is that a no?
No, yeah. In my opinion, it is. If you want something, you'll click, I want it. Like if you want an iPad, for example, and you dead set you need an iPad, well, if an iPad opportunity comes up, you'll be like, iPad, not, Like me this morning, Justin Bieber tickets, no question.
Here's the slight difference between a person and an iPad and Justin Bieber tickets. Probably another 40 of those concerts will come along. I'm thinking, at this rate, they'll have another 300 iPads before we die. Hey? So with a person, though, once you are in love with them, tends to be one, Ryan. So that slight difference, I mean, I get the analogy.
Yes.
I think, yeah, the stakes are a little bit higher when it's the presumed love of your life. I always do find it amazing that people always say, you know, I can't believe my soulmate. It always so happens that your soulmate just happens to live around the corner. How come your soulmate is never in a village in Malawi somewhere? You know what I mean? Nobody's soulmate ever happens to be in Afghanistan. I always find that incredible that you've known your soulmate your whole life. You went to school. You went to the same church. It never happens to be a Bangladeshi woman who wrestles tigers. So I always find that interesting. Yeah.
Good move by your friend. Brave move. It's always going to end that way.
Now, I didn't tell you that I gave him feedback.
Oh.
Because immediately when he came, I felt a little bit of under pressure. Like, oh, no. Because inevitably, I know her really well as well. Inevitably, she's going to come talk to me. And I'm going to have to block her and say, I don't want to hear about it. That's your guy's stuff because he was my friend first. Otherwise, you know what I mean? Because now she's coming, what do you think I should do? And now I don't want to be that guy. What I did say to him was, not a great move to do it just before December, though. I would have done it probably more January because now you've kind of ruined or had an awesome December. You've taken too much of a risk at the wrong time.
And January's good because people are in New Year's resolution field.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the year I settle down. This is the year I try new things. Every day in January, I'll say yes to everything. People do that stuff.
No, 100%, yeah.
That's a good call.
So, but now it's too late now. Now he's possibly also a little bit selfish. I should have thought of this at the time, but there was all sorts of... I was actually trying to protect myself. I thought to myself, and I should have said this part to what you're saying, is now you've been a bit selfish. You've ruined her December as well. She did.
Yeah,
what do you think?
right.
She wanted to make a big decision instead of going to Justin Bieber or whatever concerts are coming up. There's a festival coming up in December somewhere, right? Now it's ruined for her because now she's got to make a life-changing decision.
And it's a fail-safe. If you've got a super close friend, you can go to me with events, we can go to things together, can help me some shopping or whatever. So you've screwed the pooch. So
yeah, and for me as well. So
and put you and the victim of all of this is you.
Is me, ultimately.
Because quite frankly, who wants to be caring about other people's feelings, emotions, love?
Tell me about it.
You know what I mean?
I do.
You're the real victim in all of this. You're the loser, no matter what happens. Because you've had to worry about other people. Empathy, gross.
I live alone in a complex where 12-year-old, you can only have kids 12 or older, except if you're my neighbor and you're trying to ruin my life.
Emotional intelligence, emotional empathy, what EQ?
It's not my thing.
Disgusting.
Well, it's just not my vibe. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. It's not my vibe. And now he's put me in that situation. James Ilsley, who's a person who's...
evidently not burnt out enough to be on the old YouTube.
Yeah, he's just relaxing at home, eating Doritos in his bed, probably. Clearly not that burnt out. James Ilsley, it is interesting that you and this friend are super close. Now, why is that interesting? Is he suggesting it's me?
I feel... So sometimes when I'm not on the show, I do comments on the show.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're a team. We support each other. I'm legitimately, for legitimate reasons, when I'm not on the show, legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
James, can you imagine the filth on his bed right now? Knickknacks. We got knickknack stains on the wall. Red Bull.
And he has no problem with that, by the way.
Spilt on himself. Room smells of processed cheese.
He probably hasn't opened the door.
Oh, hasn't opened a window.
Yeah.
Last night's farts.
That's it.
Steers box on the floor. And the audacity to filthy his keyboard with his disgusting knick-knack and marshmallow fingers.
He will not care. I said to James, do not eat in your bed. Guess what he says to me? No, I'm a clean eater.
Ugh. Don't put a dish in my bedroom.
Thank you.
A coffee cup or a cup of a drink, that's it.
Yeah.
But once you're done with it, it goes out. No food plates in the bedroom.
Like, there are these disgusting humans who will eat in their beds. And I have one particular friend, shout out to her, she's getting married right now, Bryony, awesome person, but she's revolting. And she'll send me messages every now and then of her with toast with jam, and like, because her now fiance, the awesome guy, Andrew King, unbelievable human. He hates it as well. She's told me, but she'll send me photos, dogs at her feet when he's away, because he's a photographer, world-class guy, does some stuff for Premier League clubs as well, so he's proper. She'll send me photos of her, jam, toast, a plate just sitting on the sheets, a white sheet. It makes me anxious. Disgusting, like James.
Ugh.
Absolutely disgusting. Tracy Bard says, I love how Mbulelo speaks of himself in the third person. This is not me. I have no anxiety. I haven't defended myself up until now, but it's not me, Tracy. This is genuinely a friend. Now, some people do the, I get where this is coming from. Some people do a friend of mine thing when it's them. And another guy, Senzo Wuche Sitebe. Now, we don't know who that is, but he seems to be fine enough to watch the show as well. He says...
Again, this is the equivalent, right?
Yeah.
Of pulling a sickie. I don't even know what this is. These guys have pulled a sickie.
Yeah.
Yet they came to pick up their siblings from school. I'm trying to get the analogy. Oh, you know what it is.
Go ahead.
You're at school.
Yeah.
Where's my friend? They're not here today. Their brother and sister at school. Where's your brother? Oh, no, he's sick today.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer. Friend arrives. He's in casual clothes, eating cotton candy. You've been to Gold Reef City today, haven't you? This is what these two are doing. Oh, they come to pick up the siblings. Hey, guys, I was at Gold Reef City.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happened here. That's exactly what's happened. These guys staying at home. Senzo says, your friend is a rookie. Listen, have people never been in love? Or what's wrong with people? Like, who are these people that think you're rational around somebody who you're irrationally thinking you can spend the rest of your life with? Do people not know what it's like to be in love? It makes you irrational.
Who really knows what it's like to be in love?
Yeah,
because every relationship either ends in death or divorce. So it's always a sad ending.
Well, there you have it. I can't add to that.
Do what you want in the interim, but we all know the ending.
Look, so you have it. Father of one, husband of one. Gives us a cold hard truth. Captain Cook says, Umbo, it's is always the victim. Even the mountain beat him up. Now, quite right, Captain Cook. I mean, you have no idea. My quads right now, it does feel like I'm giving birth right through them. It's incredible pain. I mean, walking upstairs, not too bad. Downstairs, oh, no. It's no good. It's no good what's happening right now. I thought I'd be fine by now, but I am not.
And so to give people the behind the scenes, your office is across the way from the studio, upstairs.
Yeah.
So you're going up and downstairs quite a few times. How are you handling, and coming to the studio, there's a slope on the driveway. How are you handling the slope?
Sideways down the stairs, guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you got like every now and then, sideways down the stairs, like an old lady. You know, hold on to the railing. Yeah. Otherwise, it is just murder. So it's just murder in and around the quad region, the groin, and my groin. I don't know if I told you, it was trying to remove itself actively from my right leg.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was.
Wow.
So again, victim, quite right, Captain Cook. Senzo Wuchestebe will finish off on this one. Says James and I are at a long lunch together, and you know he thinks he's being funny, but I know that's what's happening. They probably got two laptops set up next to each other, trying to book Justin Bieber tickets right next to each other, and they're trying to see where Ryan is to avoid Ryan, because obviously Ryan's going to be on a date. They don't want to be the guys blocking.
Oh, and they're having little sniggerings. Tee-hee-hee, tee-hee-hee, tee-hee. They don't know what you're doing. Tee-hee-hee. Idiots.
Sickening. Bunch idiots. All right. Paulo, let me tell you something. That's real. Now, people might say this is sad, but I just realized I love the Premier League more than anything on this planet. Football in general, actually. And this weekend is going to be so interesting because there's a few saucy games.
Oh, let me pull them up so I can cover myself in sauce like James.
In his bed. I mean, it's unbelievable. I was wondering why James's mom came to visit, right? She was in town. She's lived here all of her life. I was wondering why didn't she stay with her son? He's a good guy. But now...
Knickknacks
in the bed. She's like, no way. She's like, I worked for 25 years in corporate. Guy doesn't even know the size of his bed. Do you know this? James doesn't know the size of his bed. He can't go to the shop and say, he has no clue that he might be on a double bed, queen bed. He didn't know what a queen bed was when, like, I was trying to tell him, James, there are dimensions for your bed. What it tells me, and why his mum didn't stay as well, he still got his linen from when he grew up on his bed. His mum helped him set up the house, and he's never changed the linen again. And that's why she's like, I know that linen. My grandmother bought that linen. No way I'm staying.
So the grandmother's not Power Rangers. That's Pokemon bed sheets at the Casa del Ilsley.
No, not impossible. James Ilsley, incredible guy, eating biltong right now with Steersburger sauce still on his neck from last night. Probably fell asleep on it. Gherkin on the ear. That's exactly what's happening.
James, is that a hickey? No. Thousand Island.
That's exactly. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, James Ilsley, what a firecracker of a human. All right, Premier League this weekend. Big games.
The Frank Lampard derby.
It is West Ham Chelsea. Lunchtime kickoff tomorrow, Saturday. Big. Because they didn't play well, when was it, 2 nights ago, and they got the draw. This is big for them. And you said that it might catch up with them. And now it's like that you said Europa would catch up with them. But now we're there, right? Weekend, midweek. And they looked super groggy in the previous game. I forget who they played. It was 1-1 though. What you thinking here? Chelsea did not look good against Watford.
Chelsea didn't look good. And you got to wonder when Chelsea are like reverting to Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Oh,
I mean...
He cost us the goal.
Yeah, so I said the same thing about Chelsea. As impressive as they look, I'm not caught up in Chelsea yet because I just don't know. But I don't know anything about football, so it doesn't matter. But listen, this is always an awesome game.
Yeah.
Awesome game because I think to the West Ham fans, it's a rivalry. The Chelsea fans, it's an annoyance.
Oh, it's just another game. Yeah.
Because Chelsea are nouveau riche now.
Yeah.
You know, they used to be scrappy little Londoners, you know, get the firms out for the boys.
Yeah.
But now it's just going. West Ham are slowing down. Mikel Antonio was always going to be a problem with West Ham, is the goals. And if you're relying on Mikel Antonio, Jamaican international, to score you goals,
yeah,
you know, that's not sustainable. You know, Lanzini's going to crack one in, ruin my fantasy league, bastard. Clean sheets.
Yeah, no, me too. Fair
no, that's very upsetting. I'm going to go, listen, I think Chelsea are due a shock. I think Chelsea are due a shocker. So
and they looked really bad against Watford.
They didn't look good against Watford. And other than what more than that is, for as good as they looked at against Manchester United, I always felt Manchester United kind of held them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was periods of holding on, but I kind of felt like Manchester United kept them where they needed to be.
You know what the problem for Chelsea is, and I saw it, is that, again, like, I don't care what anyone says, the middle of the park will always be the most important part of the field. And this is where Man City separate themselves. Like,
yeah.
Chelsea have to bring in Loftus-Cheek. I don't love Jorginho to start with, but okay, I don't want to get into that whole thing. Is that without Kovacic, Jorginho, Conte, that's where we are. It's Loftus-Cheek and what?
Yeah.
And that, you saw what happened is
Saul.
and I love Saul, but we know the Premier League.
It hasn't worked out. It just
and you know what? Saul's brilliant. He's going to take a year. It's the Premier League. Even
the Premier League's not a league you come to play yourself into form,
especially in the midfield.
Yeah.
Like, if there's anywhere where it's Hell's Kitchen, it's the midfield. I mean, Sissoko had both of them on toast. Sissoko.
Yeah.
So that worries me. Whereas, think of Man City. Like, look what they did. Rotation is Mahrez, right? When he settles in eventually in January, Grealish is going to be rotated in. Like, Fernandinho is the B option after when Rodri's a little leggy. Like that's the difference, you know? And I think that's, Liverpool have that problem as well. You can't have Oxlade, Chamberlain and people coming in for extended periods of time when inevitably Milner can't obviously fill in. Henderson will get injured. Fabinho loves an injury. I think that's where City separate themselves. And we saw it again on the weekend. I just think that's where Chelsea falls short, is the middle of the field bench ain't good.
How do you feel about the Lukaku situation? Because I think there is the middle of the field, but also don't see where goals come from regularly for Chelsea. They share the goals.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Reece James is top scorer for them. Right?
Yeah.
They're sharing the goals, but like when you get to Timo Werner, I mean, guy.
What's going on there? I wonder what's going on there. Is he? Do we have to write him off, or do you think it's?
watching something the other day that said, Timo Werner's goals when he's in Germany were very instinctive. He's a very instinctive player. Don't give him time to think.
Yeah.
And in Chelsea, he, for whatever reason, because of the way Chelsea play and open up space, he is getting time to think, and that's kind of not working for him.
You know what I love about Werner, though, is that I can actually, with a guy like him, I can live without the goals because of the dimension he gives us when you play him on the left, is that his movement's great. It's so intelligent that your right back better be on his best behavior, is that Timo Werner is going to give you that threat. So
is he then the key to unlocking Lukaku eventually? Because that's a problem.
I do need Kai Havertz. Listen, the key player at Chelsea is Mason Mount. For me, and he's just coming back from fitness. If he stays fit, I think we can challenge Man City. If we have what we've had now, stop-start, I mean, when he's not there, it's just, there's no dynamism in that midfield without him. And he's willing to do something which City has so many of these guys. He'll run beyond the striker.
Yeah.
And I think Lukaku needs that. He needs the guy who's willing to run. Kai Havertz wants the ball to feet.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for Lukaku, because Lukaku wants the ball to feet. And without, you see, I think that's an issue there. So I think Lukaku, no problem. I think it's so built for Lukaku, because
of course, yeah.
Chilwell, Alonso, Reece James, the delivery is next level. So Lukaku will get goals at Chelsea. And one thing Tuchel's got them is we play so much in other people's half.
Oh, exactly.
So if Lukaku can't do it here,
close to them, yeah.
if he can't, I mean, at United, it wasn't built for him because a lot of the time he was in his own half.
And he's, despite what you think, he's not a player built for counter-attack.
No.
He's not, doesn't like running onto the ball, like you say. He wants the ball at feet. He wants to play off people. He doesn't want to chase it.
Yeah, and it's Chelsea's built for him. If Mason Mount, the key is Mason Mount has to stay fit. And I need Timo Werner back, and I'm going to need him to not get injured again, because that's another dimension. Chilwell's a huge loss.
It is a big one. And as you mentioned there, I just wonder how much these little niggly injuries, because Chelsea always seem to have 2 or 3 players out that are key to what they need to do.
And again, Reece James out. I love Aspilicueta, legend, but that's a whole dimension gone now.
I mean, he's your best player.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but whereas Man City, I mean, now, like, Zinchenko is, like, now, he's proper, right? Like, that's a proper player in there. That's the backup. Don't worry about it. Like, Mendy, obviously, he's got his situation. And Cancelo, don't worry about it. Kyle Walker's out. Don't worry about it. Cancelo, You know what I think of him. I think he's as good as it gets globally. Move him to the right. Kyle Walker, you take a rest. Like, it's just too much. Laporte, you take a rest. John Stones, you take a rest. Diaz, you take a rest. Like, listen to that. Up front, they got Brazil's number 9 as a rotation option. Riyad Mahrez was the player of the year in a league-winning team. Rotation option. We'll see every now. People forget. Ferran Torres is going to be like a new signing when he comes back. Is he not one of the best youngsters in world football?
Well, if he's not at Barcelona by the time he's fit, right?
Is that what's going on there?
That they need a Aguero replacement, so they're sniffing around him.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a whole situation. So Sergio Aguero retired, huh? We haven't spoken about that.
No, is he officially retired?
Yeah, no, it's done.
Officially done. Hang up.
What does he do? One of the greatest strikers of all time.
It's a real pity because he has never considered that, right? I mean, when you talk about Aguero, I mean, how many seasons as a top scorer, so many goals, possibly the best player to ever play for Manchester City.
Definitely the best.
Right?
I mean, Vincent Kompany or him for me. Or David Silva.
And it's so sad how his career just tapered out. Like, he left the Premier League as, what's he, 2nd or 3rd top scorer?
Fourth.
Is he fourth, right?
Scorer. Yeah, he got over Lampard.
He leaves the Premier League in that, no fanfare, no real attention, no acknowledgement. And now he's retired and we just like, oh.
You know what he had South American syndrome. And it's the same as Carlos Tevez. Like, the pity is that even though it was only 2 years, it's kind of like Suarez, but Suarez is a little better at this and he embraced Liverpool a bit more, I think, is that Tevez and Aguero for me are the same guy, is that they never bought into the whole I'm in England thing, learn the language.
You never heard Aguero speak English.
No, he had to translate it till the end.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? What are South American guys doing with that?
That's a really good point.
No, because, like, you're a United fan, right? Folks, Carlos Tevez, there was 2 seasons. Obviously, Fergie never been wrong. He said, no, we'll do a 2-year loan with this guy. And there was a time when people are saying, let's sign him permanently. Fergie said, okay, you can go to Manchester.
Fergie's like, I know a dodgy agent when I see one.
That was Kia. Huh?
Yeah, my son's kind of one. I'm not playing with you.
But
Read about that.
Carlos Tevez, right, is one of the most sensational players the Premier League's ever seen. That 2 years, remember when it was Rooney, Ronaldo,
Yeah.
him? You went 3 titles in a row. I don't think kids will ever know how good Carlos Tevez was because he never bought into it.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, here's how good Tevez was. He went to Man City. He took off in the middle of the season. He said to Mancini or whatever, he made up a kind of a Senzo and a James excuse, right? He literally was like James eating Steers burgers. Remember when he came back in the middle of the season from playing golf?
Yeah.
He looked like he was in his 3rd trimester.
You look like he'd swallowed all the golf clubs.
Then Man City, who was struggling, went on to win the league that year. That's how good Carlos Tevez was. That was the season after he left Man United, after they'd gone 2 in a row with him.
And a champions, 2 champions was a couple. 1-1, and then you're still with 2 finals.
Yeah.
Another final, yeah.
So, listen, Carlos, but never bought into it. Kind of like Aguero, and it's sad, but when the dust settles, kind of like Michael Carrick as a player, Kun Aguero all-timer. Breaks my heart and nearly stopped his.
But, going back to the Chelsea-Liverpool City thing, is that it's actually bizarre to think about it, that, I mean, along with Bayern Munich, those are the 4 best teams in Europe. Let's not pull any punches here. That only one of those can win the league. I mean, they are so far ahead of everyone else in the league and probably Europe.
Yeah.
And only one of them is going to win the league. That's crazy to think.
And it's amazing when you get it right what happens, right? Is like you see how Liverpool are being run, you see how Chelsea have been run now. And now Chelsea are starting to reap the benefits of compounding, of having a farm as their kids' school, right? For a while.
I was reading an article this week about how many players not only have come through Cobham for Chelsea, but have come through Cobham for the Premier League.
Yeah.
Every team in the Premier League, bar Manchester United and Liverpool, don't have a Chelsea.
Are those the only 2 without a Chelsea
I think those are the
player?
only 2 that don't have a Chelsea graduate.
Yeah.
I mean, even Nathan Ake comes through there.
Yeah.
They're the only. It's crazy when you read the names.
And I mean, but this is what happens, and it's a good lesson for Man United because don't try and do too much. This is the model now. Man City, Chelsea, something like that. Just stop worrying about being the classic Fergie.
Yeah.
Like, get into farming football now. Like, you have to. I mean, you saw what Man City did early on. What did those guys do? 200 million complex. Have you seen that Manchester City youth complex? So I hear you there, and it's an incredible situation. And the Premier League, again, I have to credit the Premier League for this. I know people resent them for this, but when you do things right, you attract that money and you build a business model right. And I think La Liga and Serie A have a lot to learn from these guys, is that when you get the business model right, this is what happens. You've got 3 teams now gunning for it. Is there a better TV product in the world than this year's Premier League race? And outside of F1 race as well, by the way.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, even when you pitch it up against the American sports, it's box office. Listen, there's a lot of overhype. I mean, let's be honest.
But it's part of how...
I watched Newcastle Norwich the other day, and I questioned the very concept of football as an entity after that. But listen, they package it hella well.
You have to.
Hella well.
So, no, shout out to them. Sensitivity says, what's up with Kai Havertz? We haven't seen that spark yet. Where is Kovacic? Kovacic injured. But the Havertz thing is an interesting one because, again, they've just gone and spent 90 million on Lukaku. That's really what Havertz wants to do.
Yeah.
And now to try and make that work, because he kind of had it going with Werner last year as well. Now those two, because I think, and you nailed it just now, I think if Havertz and Werner can get it right together, I mean, Werner and Lukaku, because Lukaku loves to play, like be that wall, play it around the corner, use that strength. You saw what Havertz and Werner were starting to do towards the end of the season last season, especially in the Champions League on that counter-attack. Havertz turn it around the corner, he'll hold it up. It's tricky for him. And also, I think sometimes we got to relax as well. Like, Havertz is 21 years old. What do people want him to be?
Well, exactly.
like people need to relax. It's like people with Mason Greenwood, right? I don't understand why people are out on that guy all of a sudden. Like, could you relax? The guy's clearly a wunderkind. He still needs to learn the game. Kai Havertz, 90 million doesn't mean you get a PhD of football immediately. He still has to go through the grind. I don't care how good he is. He still has to learn how to, part of greatness is you have to learn how to play a whole season. Sometimes it's not there. You just cruise at a 6. Sometimes it's there. You push.
Yep.
Like, these are what the great players do. They know when to push, when to hold back, how to sort of navigate a season. These are the little things that Havertz will have to learn. I don't care how much talent he has.
Yeah, and he had a disrupted season. He was in, he's out, he had COVID,
Yeah.
he took forever to recover from
Yeah,
it.
he did.
And so he doesn't have this time to settle down, and he did arrive from Germany very young, and you almost got to go, he's not polished yet.
Yeah.
Just because you're spending that money. And the same thing as Jadon Sancho, also arriving, it's like for all the things you're saying, does he know how to manage the difficulties? Does he know how to maximize when he's playing well versus consolidate when you're not playing well? And these are all things you learn through a season.
And both, great point, both have to learn now. Because back when everyone in Germany was loving both of you, like you could do nothing wrong. When you come to Chelsea, and Havertz thinks he had a good there, and they worship the ground you work on. Chelsea guys go, no, we had Didier Drogba come through here. Get it together, pal.
And also remember, players like that, Timo Werner, Havertz, Jadon Sancho, a lot of even Haaland now, all those numbers stack up differently, Jude Bellingham. We only see them when they've done something spectacular.
Yeah.
We don't see the boring games. So they'll go 2-3 games where they don't perform, and then we get the 1-2 clips where they did do well.
Yeah.
Premier League, there's no 2-3 game. It's every game. If you're not on, everyone knows about it. Where sometimes leagues like that you can develop normally. The Premier League's abnormal in that way.
It's such a good point, Paulo, because now for every clip Sancho we saw doing well, obviously we didn't see the stuff like you say, is that also, at Dortmund, it's a thing now when you do well.
Yeah.
At Manchester United, dude, we've had Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, we've
yes,
had-
you scored a hat-trick, get back to the halfway line. Is young people sometimes don't do well with that because I've just come from an environment where if I did a step over, they'd go nuts.
Yeah.
At Man United, when Sancho's scoring these goals, we're like, oh, you play for Man United.
If you do a step over and you pass back inside, you're getting booed.
You know what I mean?
There's a groan. It's like,
So you got to grow. You got to grow into being the guy. There's very few Leo Messis and Ronaldinhos and Ronaldos where at 17, 18 they're the guy already and they're already there. That's very rare.
yeah. And we've been spoiled. We've been spoiled because we've seen a couple,
Yeah.
right? And Mbappe seems to be the latest one.
Exactly.
And we've been spoiled by these teenage superstars, these guys who progress very quickly.
Yeah.
Genetically, they're ready for it. And we think, oh, well, everybody should do it. Mason Greenwood, why is he not England number one, top scorer in the Premier League? Because he's a child.
Not everyone's Wayne Rooney.
Childish thing. Not everyone's Wayne Rooney, 100%.
He was 16, dipped David Seaman. Remember that? 16-year-old, introducing 16-year-old Wayne Rooney.
I mean, by 21, the guy had lived a life. I mean, he had a better career at 21 than most players ever have after 15 years.
And every granny in town knew who he was.
Don't at me.
Good course, he says, Chelsea did stockpile talent. It's paying off now. Can't really hate on them. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. Roman Abramovich, Ubermensch. By the way,
Oh my God, Chelsea fans, listen, if you were net fans like Liverpool are,
Yep.
net.
Oh, yes.
Net spend. Oh, Lukaku. Oh, actually, we got paid to buy Lukaku back. Thank God you're not like that.
no, we're not that. It's trophies or bust. Roman Abramovich, shout out to that Mensch. He, back at his first game in 3 years, by the way.
Walking
Roman.
to the match.
Yeah, he walked to the game.
Walked to the game.
Man
What a
of
guy.
Man of the people.
What a guy.
Man of the
Omni
people.
can't be damned.
Yeah. No. I'm with, 30 billion. Get the hell out of here.
Get out of here.
I paid the Red Hot Chili Peppers $1 million to play one song or whatever.
That's what I do.
I'm going to walk to the game. What a
This
guy.
is what I do from under the bridge to Stamford Bridge.
You know what? This show is called the MKT Show.
There are mics here. We'll drop them off.
This show's called the MKT Show. Ryan's going to a concert is one thing that's happening. My quads are sore. It's called catching up. And Paolo's here. Got to catch the listeners up, you know?
Yeah, they need
radio.
to know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, they can't just zoom in and see. They've got to listen, and we do have lots of listeners. We love listeners.
Yeah. Podcast, by the way. There are people, Paolo, who don't know that this is available as a podcast. The MKT Show. CliffCentral.com, Cliff Central app, Spotify.
I mean, what platform aren't we on?
We're on every platform you can have.
Every platform. If you want, we can even be in your dreams.
Depends how much you dream at night, by the way.
We'll inception you.
That's it. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Totally inception you.
He's done quite well, that guy.
Yeah, he's not had a bad career.
What was the first? He was on...
Who's eating Gilbert Grape?
That's what it is.
I think is it who or what?
What's eating
It
Gilbert?
was Gilbert Grape. Somebody or something's eating him.
What was the TV thing he was on?
Yes, he was on a TV thing.
Yeah.
I should know that he was a TV thing.
Yeah.
But the
The
movies.
Titanic come in.
No, it came a little after TV, but yeah, I do hear you. He was on a door.
He was still quite young then.
Titanic.
Yeah.
What do you think of that movie?
I liked it. But I mean,
You into rom-coms?
some of them, depending.
On?
On the mood, I guess. I like funny movies. I like a lot of comedy. You'll see me put on an Adam Sandler movie all the time.
Okay. I mean, you've answered a different question. Are you into rom-coms? But that's okay. Good to know you like comedy. What about rom-coms?
On some of Adam Sandler's movies, rom-coms.
Right. Sky.
Give me an
Roseanne
example of a
and
rom-com.
Growing Pains. That's what Leonardo
Growing
DiCaprio is.
Pains.
But as not a regular cast member, I think he was the neighbor's or the friend's neighbor or kid's friend, something like that.
John Goodman was on Roseanne as well.
He was.
A lot of good shows in the 90s. Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Roseanne.
I've been loving because Seinfeld's on Netflix now. The whole
It's so good.
so good.
Like every time you watch Seinfeld, you pick up something new that Larry David wrote in there.
Yeah.
There's an airplane scene where it's him as the voice. Like I just...
Yeah, Larry David pops up in so many little scenes and his voices as extras.
Yeah. And listen, a lot of people don't know that first season they had absolutely no budget. It was like a massive risk, and then, well, we know how that happened. I mean, the show, right, of all shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Curb Your Enthusiasm's better.
It's I think with Curb Your Enthusiasm, sometimes I find it a bit much.
You think it's over the top?
Because it's just him. So what I like about Seinfeld is that it's still that same insanity, but maybe it's split amongst four people.
I see what you're saying.
With Larry David, it's that insanity, but it's always one person, and sometimes it's just a bit much. I love it though.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is from More Money Than AVB, by the way. That Dreyfus family, they owned Marseille at a
A lot
stage.
of money. A lot of money.
Oh, good for her. Good for her. Tracy Bart says, Leonardo DiCaprio's movies, Shutter Island, geez, like, what an underrated movie. Now,
True.
Tracy, I may have some things to say there. Shutter Island, you ever seen Apollo?
That's the one, it's a mental institution or experiments or something on the island.
Something like that.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Yes,
And then
that's it.
Right, I think that's the one.
Thoughts?
I watched it a while ago. I do remember enjoying it though, if it's the movie I'm thinking of.
Ryan?
I remember, I think I saw it at the theater and it blew my mind.
Really?
Yeah. It was very, you're on the edge of your seat the whole time and you had to put things together. But I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not really a Leonardo guy. So maybe all my biases against his stuff is because I don't see what the hype is. But shout out to him, dude. He has done, by the way, doesn't date anybody over 23 and he's like in his 40s now. So he's also living an incredible life.
Well done to him.
Hey, I've always said, if you're going to have a girlfriend, try and treat her like milk. Once the expiry date, let it go.
At this point, I distance myself from the comments you may have heard on the MKT show on Friday, the 3rd of December. I am merely a contributor to the show. I do not take part in any of the show's construct, narrative arc, nor opinions.
I second
Thank
that.
you.
All right. Well, Okay, well, it's always nice to know your team's with you all the way.
Listen here, breaking news. Surprise, surprise. It's December,
Yeah.
which means that Neymar has just picked up an injury which will rule him out for 6 to 8 weeks.
That's a shocker in Southern Hemisphere summer.
Oh, no. The guy's a charlatan. Like, it looks like legitimately, he looks very injured.
Yeah.
You
Does
know,
he have the boot on?
Oh, no. He got injured in a match. They're playing Saint Etienne.
Yeah.
Storied old club.
Wait, let me tell you something.
Read about Saint Etienne.
No, you're not
one
going to
day.
believe what I'm going to tell you.
Oh, this guy. Tell me.
I went to varsity with a French guy, right? Like, pretty weird, like, Arthur Morel, this guy's name is.
Wow. Good name.
Monsieur Arthur Morel.
Good name.
Very understated. Guess whose grandfather started Saint Etienne?
You're joking. Arthur.
Arthur Morel. Like,
Amazing.
like, he'd weirdly talk about Saint Etienne.
It's a little football club.
Yeah, because I was like, that was the time Jorginho and then Juninho and that whole vibe had just kind of ended.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, Arthur Morel. And I was like, wow, this guy, I mean, I know a lot about football. It's weird how much he knows about the second club.
Especially something about Saint Etienne.
Yeah, no, his grandfather started it.
Good. Well, that's good stuff.
Yeah, incredible. Arthur Morel. So,
A kind of forgotten team in French football. I mean,
Very much
but they
so.
were huge. European powerhouse.
yeah, he just made a speech the other day. Arthur's like aging now. I think he might be coming into his own there.
Good for him.
Maybe we get tickets. I
Good
don't know.
for you. Friends, well done.
Well, I don't know if
So
he's my friend
that's
anymore.
Neymar. He's out. And conveniently, we all know that it's Carnival and it's his birthday and his sister's birthday. And every year, thank the Lord, because he loves his sister so much.
Yeah.
The Lord bestows upon him that he'll get injured and has to do all his recuperation in Brazil.
Weather. It's the weather. Plus he trusts his own.
Every year.
It's always perfect, isn't it?
Shameful.
Because when the
Get
Champions
away
League
with
comes
it.
back, he's perfectly fine in January.
But is he? Because he always misses the last 16. He will always miss that because partying in Brazil is more important to him. He's a charlatan. I can't believe he's done it again. He's done it again.
He's nailed it, eh? How long are they saying he's out for?
Oh, it's indefinite, but I'm 100%. It's long term, and it's indefinite, but it's still to be assessed. But I'm telling you right now, he will not be back before.
No,
February.
he's already in Sao Paulo now. He's already booked his apartment and he's already had his first cocktail already.
No, he's already done.
Isn't it Senzo who always says that Neymar was the worst? He's like the worst player. He is that broken link.
Yeah, with him, you know what? His talent was sealed so early, and also when you're the guy at Santos, he's a better version of Robinho, is what he is. You know, it's like
Yeah.
when you're the guy at Santos, sometimes it's difficult because all we see is the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A. This side is that I don't think people got just how much Real Madrid and Barcelona wrestled over him. Like how much.
I mean, they were bringing him over every 6 months to visit the one or the other from like 12 or 13. This guy was Pele's heir apparent.
And even better than Pele and Robinho was, you must remember, Neymar came when Instagram came.
Yeah.
He was that first.
Well, he maximized
real,
that, right?
He was the first like a real mega South American uber star that coincided with when Twitter just went nuts. You know what I mean? Football became about Instagram.
It just shows you, and I think the thing is how much talent Neymar has. Because Robinho, and we've seen so many of these guys,
Yeah.
Gansu and Patu, and we've seen so many of them. There was even that other guy, Diego. I think he came through with Neymar at the same time.
Yeah.
He came through with Robinho, Diego. So many of these guys, they burn out because eventually the lifestyle overrides the talent.
Yeah.
It just shows you how talented Neymar is that's never happened, which makes him even more frustrating. We should be talking about Neymar as, to this day, probably the best Brazilian footballer since Ronaldo.
And you know what's weird? Like, people will always think of him as better than Kun Aguero, and he's not.
No.
Like, look at the body of work. Like Kun Aguero, again, but it's the marketing thing, right? Neymar's, and again, his father is a brutal guy. His father's in charge, and his father's the agent you want, along with Mino, right? Is his dad gets it done. Now, he'll also take home a fair packet for himself, we know that. But Neymar has been, whoever's managing Neymar is unbelievable.
Oh, no, of course.
So shout out to him and his sister having that weirdly close relationship, huh?
And while you're talking about Brazil and the teams in Brazil, FIFA 95,
Yes.
this is how old I am. FIFA 95, the worst team on there was the worst team. The lowest ranked team was Atletico Mineiro, right?
Yeah.
Anyone shout out my cousin Michael? He'll know. He'll identify with this.
Yeah.
Atletico Mineiro were the worst team on the very early versions of FIFA. Won the Brazilian Championship yesterday with Diego Costa and Hulk up front.
Hulk is one of the most enigmatic figures.
The biggest bum in the history of football.
Probably the richest guy to come out of Brazil in terms of football, though. He's moved everywhere for all the money in the world.
Oh, no, he went to Japan when they were paying huge money in Japan.
And China, wasn't it?
He went to China afterwards. He's been in Russia.
Yeah.
That guy knows. He smells money.
Kia. Surely Kia.
Could be. I don't know who's with him, but he smells money.
So Hulk and...
Smells money.
Douglas
and Diego Costa.
There's another guy, hey?
You know, a couple of weeks ago when that fight broke out between Boca Juniors and Atletico Mineiro in the...
Which was amazing.
Right? The best or worst part about it is that Diego Costa and Hulk didn't get involved. That the fight was only between the officials of Atletico and the Boca players. And those two didn't get involved. Because I mean, water coolers are being thrown around. Marcos Rojo took a fire hydrant off the wall.
What? That guy is electric, eh?
He is, and he got sent off twice in 2 games.
He was at Man United, that guy.
They were trying to hit each other with fire hydrants. And Hulk and the most surprising thing about it, because I was like, oh, well, who did these two hit? Nothing. They weren't even involved.
No, they're
They didn't even know. They didn't even know that.
We're professionals. We
Like hell.
No.
They're probably in the nightclub already.
It's so crazy to think Hulk. Oh my God, that guy.
You know, people who you got glimpses of him in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Right. So we spoke about AVB. Hulk was the guy.
Yeah.
AVB had Hulk, Jean Moutinho, and James Rodriguez when he cared about football. It is difficult to tell you how good Hulk was if you've never seen Hulk play.
Yeah. Porter, eh?
Oh, huge bum. Like, thank God at that time TV screens were getting bigger.
Yeah.
Because if you were watching on a 32-inch, you're not seeing nothing. You're just seeing bums. You're just seeing his bums. Actually, he's got 2 asses. Not one.
He's re-stamped before re-stamped. Shout out to the BBW players.
No, his half his bum is Reece James. Massive ass.
Yeah, no. All badonkadonk and 35-yard screamers, that guy.
Congratulations to the 2 of them.
Atletico Mineiro, huh?
Worst team on FIFA in 1995.
And here they are. In FIFA 97, you could curl the ball in the air. You could also go indoor.
Loved it.
Yeah, but
Best
once
mode.
You could curl it once it's left your foot.
Yes.
And curl it late,
Turn
and the
around.
goalkeeper would be nowhere. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
FIFA 97 all-timer. Unbelievably bad graphics and all sorts of bugs in that game. My favorite. I've won every single championship with every team, I think. So once you know the bugs. Let's get back to some more Premier League talk, because I think we made some great points, because we're a big-time sports show about West Ham and Chelsea. An interesting one for me is Newcastle, and you kind of touched on them, right? What are we doing there, Paulo? Amanda?
Who posted the meme? Was it on one of our groups? You know, you get those guys in Uganda. Dandies.
That was me, yeah.
Right? Do they call them the dandies?
Yeah.
Listen, you got to find out the story if you don't know. There's guys in Uganda. They've got the fanciest ass suits. They're dandies. I think they call themselves. I don't know.
But I know. I don't know the term. But
there's a story about them,
yeah.
and MKT posted on our team WhatsApp group one of these guys walking through this really beat up part of town in this immaculate suit.
Yeah.
And he said Newcastle in the championship next season.
Yeah, with a 1.5 billion pound budget.
Statistically, no team who's lost their first or hasn't won in their first 14 games or whatever run Newcastle are on has survived.
They're gone.
So the numbers don't stack up for them. You're not signing Neymar and Icardi and Coutinho, and if you do sign Coutinho, he's not mucking in.
I saw an excellent meme saying, also Newcastle going, when you have Haaland in the championship.
Yeah.
And it's Amanda Staveley's face.
Oh God. Did you by the way see that when Haaland scored on the weekend against Wolfsburg?
I didn't see it.
So he scores and he runs towards the Wolfsburg fans and kneels down and points to the fans. And this old lady gives him one of those.
I love that fans are back and giving it the big one.
So great.
Mo Salah the other day going to take a corner and just the fans are all over him. The Everton fans are all over him. But to your point, so Newcastle currently as it stands, 14 games in, they are 6 points from safety.
And they haven't won a game yet, I don't think.
No, 14 games have not won a game.
So nobody in this position has avoided relegation.
And on top of that, remember when Bournemouth got relegated? We could all see it coming. Like Eddie Howe,
Marco.
change your style, and he just kept bombing forward and playing that football.
And
we
it
were
was
like,
good to watch, but you just get picked off.
Why didn't they get an interim?
It's interim for the interim.
That's what. It's the new thing. Ralph in.
Why not? They could have had him. They could have had him.
So it's weird what's happening. Are they getting relegated?
Right now,
Can Coutinho?
Coutinho's not getting out of relegation.
That's what I'm saying. Who else could they get though? Who's like?
It's such a weird situation because you kind of got to do an interim squad. So you got to go like a bunch of like muckers who know how to escape relegation.
Yeah.
Right. I remember back in the day, it was like Kieran Richardson, like these guys who've like they get stuck in.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of Burnley players. Like go buy Burnley,
Yeah.
transplant them.
Like Mumkeys.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm with you. Yeah. Amanda
Yes.
Staveley is the Mumkeys of.
That's what she's got to do. You've got to go because there's no team in the Premier League that. So I think the only thing. I mean, if I look at that table, so Leeds, Southampton. I don't see two worse teams than Newcastle right now.
What they're gonna have to do to
They're
your
bottom of the league.
7 points after 14 games.
God.
Why'd you fire Steve Bruce?
Well, I mean, it was gone. I don't think any. And listen, Newcastle aren't bottom by the league. They're 3 points off Norwich.
Who are playing so well under Dean Smith, by the way.
Look, they might be able to do it, and they got a goal scorer. Timu Puki's scoring again. They've got a couple of interesting players.
And Burnley will be fine. Southampton will be fine.
fine.
Leeds are going to be fine. Are you telling me you're going to be better than Brentford and Aston Villa?
You got to hope that Watford stink up. I don't see it. I don't see them pulling out of
Because the
this.
Tinkerman, you can already see that Tinkerman's figuring it out
Yeah.
at Watford. They're going to be fine.
And they've got some nice players. Watford
do.
got really nice
That
players.
Dennis is something, hey?
Yeah, Dennis Sissoko's a solid player.
So,
And Saar, I mean, he's always going to get you out of trouble.
yeah, but his kneecaps are made of polystyrene, injured again. But he is, I mean, if the Tinkerman can figure it out, I think they'll be fine. They can get 40 points. What are Newcastle going to do in January, now that you've just brought it up? It's like, do you go and get like Fabian Delph? Who's out there? Like,
I don't even see firefighters because you don't get them anymore. I mean, I called the beginning of the season a big one's going. And when I say big, I called Newcastle or Crystal Palace.
You did say it.
I just felt they'd been treading water for too long. This was before Newcastle's takeover.
Yeah.
I just felt that they'd been dodging. There was no one worse than them left. And I felt one of the two would go.
it's ugly. So what do? Jay Lings? You go get Jay Lings from United. Who else can we get? Man City, do they have anyone sitting around the bench?
Listen, maybe you take this strategic approach and go to United and say, listen, what's the bulk price, right? Do a deal. Let's do a deal.
Well,
Jones,
yeah,
Lingard, Henderson. What are we doing? What are we talking? Name
Yeah.
your price.
Yeah.
You know, go to Arsenal, go to Chelsea, say, okay, give us a couple of bench warmers here for 6 months.
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek.
I think that's the only way you can try to do it and then plan properly for next season.
Oh, you gotta hope it works out. Because what's to
I
say?
hope it doesn't because this is glorious. It's hilarious.
Amanda Staveley. I said
Listen,
yesterday.
anyone that helps take the Banter Club name away from Manchester United, I'm fully endorsed.
Up north there, Amanda Staveley, I believe she does have pet sharks like any good villain will.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe will be fed to sharks. He will be disappearing at the end of the season when they get relegated.
Sure, it's such a pity because he seems such a lovely chap.
But sharks don't care.
Sharks don't care.
That's the thing about sharks. So that's huge, right? For Burnley as well. Like, I mean, Sean Dyche must be sick of having to scrap. That's a 6-pointer.
You know, and Burnley is one of those teams that the fans might start going, oh, Sean Dyche, we're a little bit sick of it. Like Tony Pulis, the second you get rid of him, you're gone.
Exactly.
Boom, you're out.
He's the
Forget it.
godfather, kind of. Yeah, it's true. He holds it all together. Careful what you wish for. So, huge game. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Wolves-Liverpool.
Yeah, listen, Wolves. Unfortunate thing about Wolves is they play beautiful football. They're just not finishing games, and Liverpool is going to pick them off. Wolves. Such a pity what happened with Raul. I mean, he looks okay,
Yeah.
but he's never going to be what he was. I mean, this guy was heir apparent to all the big teams, but age and that injury, will catch up with him. Liverpool. What's the record now? They scored 4 goals in 4 consecutive games. It's like,
They're humming.
what are we talking about? It's stupid.
But what are they doing in January, by the way? Do you think they can get through those 3 games? It doesn't matter who you're playing.
I think they can.
Salah out, because they're so well coached.
I think we over-egg it, yeah. I think they can. You always got this wild card like an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will just pop up. The kid who broke his leg or his ankle, is it Harvey Elliott?
Yeah.
He looks, he'll come back in. Klopp's too clever. I don't see it being a major disruptive thing to them.
They
I think they'll ride it.
Although-
Will they win 4-0? I don't think so. They'll probably just ride it.
Hopefully Omarion does the thing though, and Salah and Keita and Sadio Mane have to isolate for 6 months when they get
That's
back.
what I'm
By
hoping.
that time, Europe's panicking so much. You know what I mean? Because where's AFCON this year?
I think it's Cameroon.
Oh, plus
It may
there's...
have moved. I know it was due to be Cameroon.
Because what if COVID has entered a gorilla now? And so I went to Cameroon and I've seen the silverbacks there. It's evolved. It wasn't a silverback. One of the guides that takes guys up to the silverback gorillas is Sadio Mane's cousin. He comes and watches a Senegal game, obviously. Boom. Now he gets gorilla COVID. And now he's got to isolate for 18 months.
This is a scary hypothetical, very unlikely to happen. But God, that off chance that it does, nightmare.
There's nothing like, from what I'm reading,
Nightmare.
right?
Silverback COVID.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different COVID.
Diane Fossey, help us all. Help us all. Gorillas in the sanitizing mist.
Now, that is an excellent...
What I like to do is
That's
I
for
like to
us.
take... This is cerebral show.
That's for us.
You know?
That's
when
for us.
James is here, it's all lols and vibes
Yeah.
and misspelling. When I'm here, I like to hark back. I like to make little jokes like that. It's very cerebral.
Gorillas in the mist. People don't know what that is. The youngs...
No.
That's for us. Some stuff's for us.
It is. It's fun.
A lot of people say consider
It
your
is
listeners.
really fun.
So yeah, I think Liverpool will take care of the business there. You know who I'm happy for? He's the one arch nemesis, and Chelsea weren't quite there yet, but he's one of the greatest players of all time. I'm really happy the Patrick Vieira thing. He looks proper. Like Palace look. They're not like. They look like a proper football team now.
They look like the football club they should be. Listen, it was so cool the other day. Gerrard and
That was awesome.
and Vieira.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun this weekend, Vieira coming back to United because we've got the song about him
Yeah.
and all those great rivalries. But the potential of Palace is massive, right? I mean, that footprint where they sit in South London. Like, if you don't know, you know.
I do
right?
know.
Like, I mean, the talent, other than the sort of like outer suburbs of Paris, I don't think there is a contained area in European football that produces talent like South London,
Yeah.
the immediate area that feeds Crystal Palace.
And it's been a shambles.
It is insane, the players that come out of that region, and Palace have first pick on all of them, and they've never done anything with it. And they kind of are now.
Yeah.
And if Palace can get that right, with the right manager, he's a guy who went away, did some weird jobs, right?
New York.
New York. He was in France for a little bit. Never spectacular, but I think learned the ropes.
Yeah.
Got away from it all.
Did his time.
Did his time. And listen, it's positive. Palace play amazing. I'm sorry, we spoke about Chelsea midfielders. The best Chelsea midfielder is Gallagher.
Conor Gallagher's doing all the things
He's
right
the
now.
best Chelsea midfielder in the Premier League right now. I'll say that right now.
He's doing all the things.
You know, because Mount's injured.
Yeah.
You got to say. He's doing all the things, that guy. So it's a really good, and Patrick Vieira's done such a good job there.
Man United are going to have to be on their best behavior because Palace are solid now as well. They're not leaking either. You know, he's got them properly organized. And this is what Wolf Zaha's always needed. Like an organized team where it doesn't matter if you're off the leash and we'll treat you like Leo Messi.
So he can be Maverick.
And you guys better be on your best behavior because that could be a banana skin.
Hey, and listen, he's getting performance out of Benteke. I've always liked Edouard.
Jeepers, he's good.
I've always liked him. You know, you're never quite sure of a player in the Scottish Premier League, but you can see the guy's got a little bit of it, and he's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He's just uncomfortable. I think over a couple of seasons he could really develop. This is not an easy game. Like, to be honest with you, we had this tricky, of all the games we had, Villarreal, Chelsea, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, and I don't know who we got next, but I looked at those 5, and I went, that Palace game is tricky. That is tricky because it's got all the things we don't like playing.
This weekend. How you feeling about United last night beating Arsenal, by the way? I mean, we kind of touched on it.
Yeah.
What are we doing there?
Yeah, I mean, a 3-2 is not so much a sign of quality, but probably a sign this is exactly why these two teams are where they are. Because they got moments of brilliance, but structurally they're broken. There's signs from both. They're on sort of both in these weird rebuilding sort of projects. I mean, Ragnick is saying what his quotes. He just did a press conference now. The club has had no continuity. They've got muddled transfers and they haven't stuck to the DNA,
Yeah.
whatever. So, and then talking about his plans for Ronaldo. So it's going to be an interesting time. But yeah, listen, a 3-2 is not because they were brilliant. A 3-2 is because they're chaotic. They're chaotic
playing
side.
Arsenal. Like last night, I was watching the game, and both clubs were trying to out mediocre one another.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
You did say that on Twitter. It did feel like that.
Like Fred was all over the place. I really couldn't tell whether he was playing for Arsenal or Man United last night because
And I can't tell if Fred is good or not anymore. I was saying to Ryan as we came in, I was saying to Ryan as we came in that I kind of think Fred's been our best player in the last 2 games.
yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah.
Just because he's everywhere.
I know what you mean.
You know, you see him and he's left back, he's up front, he's in the middle, he's making tackles, he's passing, he's shooting. We go, is it because he's good or just because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing?
He's everywhere. He's winning penalties, but he's also passing the ball directly to them.
Killing
in your
our
own
goalkeeper. He's trying to chip players when Ronaldo's open, yet he's making these great tackles. And he is the most confusing concept in football at this point.
You know what he's like? You ever had the super rich kid early on who's got the soccer ball, right? And he's got that nice soccer ball, and his mom's going to give us all a lift home if we go with her to the soccer pitch. But he's terrible at soccer. But you have to invite him. Otherwise, it doesn't work out because he's the key. He's got the soccer ball. He's got all the nice stuff. His mom's like one of those who gets over involved. She brings oranges and stuff as well. Like I had this. So I grew up in like a little bit of, an estate situation where we had that a lot, where we had those moms, because my mom's like, both my parents working, but some moms where I grew up, there was one kid in particular, he had like all the soccer balls and whatever, and if we had to go down to the park, it was quite far from where we were, even though it was a contained estate area. He was the guy. He was terrible at soccer though, but we had to have.
But he had the Questra ball.
That's what
We had a similar guy. I remember when we were very young in school. Super rich.
Yeah.
His dad, I don't know what his dad did. I can't remember. He was Greek. So I don't want to be lazy and say his dad had a cafe, but like he used to bring us. My dad had a bottle store. What are we talking about? Yeah? If you want to stereotype. We are married to my cousin. What are you going to do? I'm not. That's a joke. In the 80s, we had Garbage Pail Kids. I don't know if you remember those, right?
Come on.
He used to come like every 2-3 days with the full box, right? Like the stuff that you'd get if you had a store, and give it out to us. He used to like give us all toys, like brand new He-Man figures and all that. And I love the guy, of course. He always gave us stuff.
Yeah, no,
right?
100%. Yeah.
Always gave us stuff. I do remember him being bad at soccer. And when he left the school, we were all like, well, any of you actually is Fred? I was like, no, I don't think any of us. We were always around him.
Yeah.
Like he gave us stuff. And you're 78 years old. It's all about you. This guy's giving me stuff I couldn't care less.
I've always.
So I don't know if the story's the same.
No, it's definitely the same.
I just
It's
felt
the
I
same
had to
gist.
contribute.
No. Well, you got to talk. It's a show, and I got to be honest. I've always said this, right? I'm extremely loyal to whoever's paying the most. So, like, I will change my allegiances if you're the super rich friend, and I've always been the same since I was young. If you've got the nicest soccer ball, we definitely hang out with you the most. Like,
yeah, it's like if you walk in, right? Okay, and 2 guys walk with the soccer ball. And you've got like a ball from like a supermarket.
Yeah.
Generic goal.
That's
it.
it.
Says goal on it. But that one. Okay, cool. This guy walks in with a 1994 or a La Liga official match ball. Guess where I'm going?
No, we're hanging out.
What am I doing?
This is the real ball as well. This is unbelievable to
forget
touch.
about it.
Seamless.
Scoring. How many goals will be scored in La Liga this weekend with that ball?
This thing's phenomenal.
I wonder do they have a winter ball?
Surely, it's La Liga.
They've got to have a winter ball now.
It's PB.
Although it doesn't get dark in Spain, like in England.
They eat too late, those people.
So late.
I got to tell you, they eat too late. That's one of the things.
Sporting play Benfica, not Spain, but I mean neighbours. Sporting play Benfica this weekend. I got great. What time? 11:15 South African time. What are you doing?
Well, supper times is at like...
9:15 there.
No, could you maybe put a note out to that whole Iberian region? Awesome weather. Incredible looking people. Nice olive skin. Eat earlier.
But they're so thin though. Maybe that's the key.
Alright, so
Because
don't-
you eat later, you eat lighter.
Yeah.
You stay thin. That's
God.
what I noticed.
That's what's on the bottle. Eat later, lighter, thin.
Yeah, because they eat bigger maybe during the day, but later they're eating lighter. Olive oil.
Who knew the Iberians? Listen, if you are a rich person and you want to be my friend and give me stuff, I haven't changed that policy. Since I was young, that's what I believe in. If you're the richest person I know, I'm going to hang out with you a little more and be nicer to you. I've always said that. It's the MKT Show. Ryan's thinking of taking a first date to a concert. Paolo has said, do not do that because you're setting the standards too high. Love to hear some comments. Should Ryan take the love of his life, who actually happened to come into his life a couple of years ago, and then he didn't go for it? And she is currently single, but he's not going to go back. That's what he said. So, I mean, I don't know if that makes any sense. But she's available now. And did you hear the story, Paolo?
Yeah.
Because she needed help with a car.
I know.
Quite recently, and he went back and helped her.
She didn't need help with the car, right?
She didn't. She knows Ryan likes her. I don't want to say it. She knows that Ryan liked her in a romantic sense. She didn't. Go ahead, Paolo.
I don't feel I can, and sorry, podcast listeners, I don't feel anything I can say says it better than this.
Yeah.
Right? I'm pursing my lips.
Yeah.
I'm holding my hand up. I kind of look like a little, the who me emoji, the one that serves the hand.
Yes, yeah.
That little emoji.
Yeah,
that
I got you.
That's if you're on the podcast, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Her car was fine. Her car was fine.
She knew what car she wanted.
Car was fine.
She absolutely knew which car she wanted. So don't take her, Ryan. There we go.
Or do you take her, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, because he hasn't. So Ryan's a little bit in denial. He thinks he's let it go, but he got quite in his feels talking about burn that bridge down, everything.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a lot of that talk because it came up. And it happened in varsity as well. That's pretty tough.
Oh, you know what? The thing is, when Ryan and James, when you and I talk about varsity, it's like, oh, that was a while. When they talk about varsity, it was like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, they just stepped out of there.
They just literally left. They can still smell the Jaeger bombs on their breath.
So yeah, Ryan, Paolo says do take her. Probably you should listen to him. I mean, I am very, very single. Paolo has got a beautiful family. So you should listen to Paolo. Maybe do take her. You know what I mean? You thought about asking her to Justin Bieber? Although a little soon, because you got a wedding season coming up. And who knows what may happen there. What's happening with that situation, by the way, Ryan?
I got my first wedding tomorrow.
Let's go. And
Okay, guys, just telling you now, I'm joining the show next week on video. A Ryan wedding just smells like a super spreader to me.
First wedding tomorrow, right?
Yeah, first wedding tomorrow.
And nervous. It's not the one where your friends have done the terrible thing of setting you up with somebody who they've invited to the wedding and you have no choice but to sit next to her at the wedding.
No, it's not that one.
When is that one coming up?
That one's on the 20th. If restrictions don't come into play.
No, but tell me something. Are any of those friends who have set you up in a terrible situation, are any of them coming to this wedding?
No, this is a family wedding.
Oh, thank goodness.
This is my cousin.
Lady or guy cousin?
Lady.
Lady cousin.
Yeah.
Now, does she know that you're trying to go from it's single to it's complicated?
No, I told her I'd make it. I told her I would bring a date to a wedding. I said, this is family wedding. I have to bring a date to this wedding.
Oh, you're taking a date?
Yeah.
Who's the date?
I told you I got a date for this wedding. I said I got the first one.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Is that the one you met on the beach with
No.
with Jordans on?
No.
Which would just remind me again, the lady you're dating now, not dating, that you're taking to this wedding, where did you meet her again? Did you take her?
No, I've known her for a while, but it was probably, 2 weeks ago?
Okay. When did you ask her 2 weeks ago? No.
Yeah.
See,
Well, she
I told
kind
you,
of
he's
heard,
the leave it for the last
heard
minute
the
guy.
show, and then she was like, oh, well, I can go with you.
No, wait, sorry, what?
Yeah, she heard the noise it was making on the shows between here and the GCS, so...
Oh, does she watch the show?
I think since she heard that I'm on it, then she checked it out, and then she was like, oh, we got weddings coming up.
I didn't know, Ryan. There's no way you told me this. I would have
sure I
definitely
told
made
you
it
this.
way, way more uncomfortable than I have. So now wait, hold on. So now she's rescuing you now. Is she a friend of yours? How long have you known her? I mean, let's.
Yeah, she's a friend, so probably about 2 or 3 years. I've known her.
This
now.
is awesome. I hope she's the love of your life and you guys figure it out at the wedding. But also, as much as awesome as she sounds,
Yeah.
don't take her to the next wedding because I told you got about 6 weddings. You should take 6 different ladies.
Yeah.
Just give yourself some options. Even if she's awesome, do not get, because the last thing you want by wedding 3, you don't want buyer's remorse. However awesome she is, Sometimes you think, that Mercedes is the best drive until you've been in a Ferrari SUV or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to.
It's like a Justin Bieber ticket situation. You don't want to overcommit now when it's only...
Although you have kind of overcommitted by buying 2 tickets for one human being.
With no name.
Is it U2? With no name.
Yeah, Street with no name.
Street with no name. It's a good song.
You two are very divisive.
Bono's divisive. When's he going to take the glasses off?
Yeah, but he's kind of semi-retired.
And
Speaking
iconic.
of concerts at F&B Soccer City Stadium,
Yes.
U2. Oh, forget about it.
Crazy.
They had the 3D stage.
The
So the stage was in the
360, yeah.
center, and no matter where you sat, you could see them. They moved around the stage. Stage, fantastic, great. Lady Gaga there as well, very good.
Na, una, na.
Look at him.
Such a bad romance.
Look at this guy.
That's satanic. You mustn't...
She wore a meat dress once. Remember that?
I do.
I wonder what kind of meat it was.
Remember I had Bible classes breaking down every Lady Gaga music video.
I don't remember that. I wasn't your teacher. What are you talking about?
In my school, during our Bible lessons, we would have literally dedicated classes going through Lady Gaga's new music video. We were all fans, and then the teacher's like, it's satanic because they use this symbol and it means in 1870.
What?
That gives religion such a bad name.
Yeah. But, whoa. I feel like the teacher went free rogue there because there's no way they're putting in...
Yeah,
He went to school in Devilsdorp, though, remember?
Yeah. Oh, no. I guess you got to keep an eye on things there. Oh, that's a good point. Because
I think
last
it was
time...
grade 8, we got like...
Yeah, but the devil doesn't care. I mean, that's probably when the devil gets started, around 14 years old, so that you can actually murder people in an apartment block and then
all
get
you're
caught for
thinking is
faking
Poker Face
insurance.
is such a cool song,
Lady Gaga.
And then it's...
So, wait, Ryan, so did you go to like a super Christian school?
Oh, I went to the King's School.
Yeah.
I see. I should probably look at CVs closer. What? So no, I think the teacher's gone rogue there. I mean, obviously,
I think
where
so
you're
too.
from, we do need to keep an eye because last time you didn't. The devil snuck through the back door and did his work. Boy, oh boy, were the idle hands waiting for her. That lady's incredible.
I got to be honest, I think it was less the devil and more meth.
No, fair enough.
The devil, like, if you think about what the devil does, there's reason to his madness, right?
I'm with you.
I very much think meth was the culprit in this.
Also, I think it's good press. I mean...
For the devil or...
No, I'm saying what group speaks the most? Like, in terms... I don't know, like the Christian group side of things. I feel like if you cause up a bit of a stir, it goes worldwide. Free press.
Oh, you saying any
Goes
press
in
is good press?
churches, schools. I mean, this is my music video.
What do you...
Satanic.
I love how
Put
you
it up
think.
in the classroom. Let's get views.
What do you think Devilsdorp did for the religious sector of society since you're saying that? Like, do you think they were like, this is excellent, the devil's getting bad press? Or were they like, oh, no, this is bad, the devil's getting press?
I don't know. I haven't been into it. Well,
you live in
for
it.
a funeral a while ago, but I haven't been into a church a while back. So
Oh, you haven't asked, is what
No.
you're saying. No, honestly, Ryan, thanks for sharing that because that teacher went rogue. you can't be bringing Lady Gaga into, no, that's...
I don't know. My daughter goes to a Catholic school. They can't do Halloween. So I don't know if it's a rogue thing.
What?
Yeah.
wait, but now how does your daughter differentiate the sanitizer and the holy water?
Oh,
Once again,
I had this issue.
let's get a shot in Paolo's face. Well, hold on. Paolo, did you just hear that question? How, for those who didn't hear it, how does your daughter differentiate between sanitizer and holy water? Ryan, I'll come to you why. Please try and answer that question just as it's asked, Paolo.
in fact, actually, Your Honor, my name is Paulo Diaz, and I prefer not to comment on such a statement for fear of incriminating myself.
Right. I'd like to give you some context. Ryan, R.I.P., it was your grandfather, eh?
It was my grandmother, yeah.
His grandmother recently passed. Cool. So he goes there. It was in a Catholic church. So he walks in and he says, when he walked in, he didn't realize.
I was late, by the way, as well.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just-
so he was late. He's the guy now. And Ryan, what? Ryan, what are you, 6? How tall are you?
yeah, just above 6 foot.
No, you're well over 6 foot.
Well
Yeah,
over.
You're like 6'3". You're big.
yeah. No, I'm
No, you don't have to agree with whatever I'm saying. You've been measured before. What did the measurement come to?
I think it was like 183 centimeters.
183. What's that? 6'3", hey? 6'2", going on 6'3". He's a big man.
He's a whole half of me taller than me.
Yes. So he's not somebody you're going to miss. So he's late now. Church, Catholic Church. What is he? So he...
Which Catholic church, Ryan?
It's in Florida.
Oh, I know that. This is my church. I was baptized there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know that church.
So walks in there and he sees the water. He didn't realize what that water was. He walked in there and just like this here, like because he thought it was sanitizer.
Can we get a shot on my face?
Yeah. No, that's right.
I had no one telling me what that was. And also I was telling MKT, I didn't know. It's my first time in a Catholic church, so I thought they had like these bars to hold people in place when they're singing or something.
So you know the bars at the bottom there, Paolo, the wooden bars at the top, at the bottom. Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's stay on, Paolo. Ryan, you can keep talking and telling us what you thought those bars were.
No, I just thought maybe if somebody, gets a bit into the praise and worship kind of thing, then it sort of holds them in place. I couldn't understand why there's a bar in the middle of the walkway.
A bar in the middle of the walkway?
Yeah, the wooden
padded
bars.
bar as well. And then I realized afterwards people kneel during the session.
Yeah.
In the pews.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Ryan Tinline.
Nobody teaches you guys.
Listen,
teaches us this.
I met my first Jewish person when I was 19, right? I thought I went to a Catholic school. I only socialized with Portuguese people other than my occasional friends.
Sure.
I did not understand there were other religions. Everyone was Catholic or Portuguese, right? Seriously, that was my reference world, right? You're either Catholic or Portuguese, 100%, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, apartheid South Africa staff.
Yeah.
So you're... It's true. I'm sorry. It's what I grew up in.
You can't fake it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
No, don't be. You didn't do it.
It's unfortunate.
It wasn't
when I grew up, it wasn't me.
You didn't start the system. Yeah.
So for a long time, I assumed everyone was either Catholic or Portuguese. I met my first Jewish person at 19. I couldn't understand the concept.
Yeah.
And I know that church. That church Ryan talks about. We used to go there. That was our church.
Yeah.
That was our church.
Got you.
Right? I played at Florida Albion. Florida Albion's right next door. You know where Florida Albion is?
I know exactly where that is.
Florida Albion is literally across the road.
Okay. So,
Right? So this is where the church is. This is how you know where it is.
Yeah.
Right? If you would have played on Florida Albion, the main field, you could literally kick the ball over the first row of houses into the church.
Okay. So in and around there.
So you know now, to put you in context, that's exactly where it is.
Yeah.
So I know this church and I visualize everything Ryan's saying. So part of me goes, how could you not know what all that stuff is? Yet if I had to walk myself into a synagogue or a mosque, I wouldn't know what to do. So as much as I'm surprised, I got to go, well...
And also the preacher only says half the things.
Why is that, right? You're going to love this.
No, because I thought because I was late, I didn't get the book. But because then he was only saying half the stuff and then the audience would finish it.
So he says, and Ryan, he says they should only pay the guy half because everyone keeps finishing whatever he's saying. So he doesn't realize that people are holding a hymn sheet or...
They're responding.
No, but there were no sheets. Apparently, this is a thing that people memorize. Like people memorize.
It's prayers. It's called prayers.
Yeah, so he says no, they should pay the pastor half because, or they should only pay him half because everyone keeps finishing his sentences. So,
look, like I say, part of me is very shocked, but also I got to be balanced.
But he went to a school where they said Lady Gaga is so surely
Christian school though, not Catholic.
That's also true.
It's incredible. But hey, listen, guy called Barrett Edelstein. We talked about him earlier. Here's something that shocked me, right? Not sure if I've told you the story. Barrett Edelstein, Jewish guy. And it is important. I'm not just saying that he's a Jewish guy so I can impress people by having a Jewish friend. Barrett didn't know who Judas Iscariot was. Now, why that becomes interesting to me, I thought Jesus must be a rock star in the Jewish world. Probably the most famous Jewish person of all time.
No, but I don't think there is a Jesus.
No.
Incorrect.
No, I would have thought though, son of Nazareth.
Right.
You know, like whatever he's done, like... Didn't know who Judas Iscariot was, Barrett.
That's surprising because, I mean, I think that story it's probably transcends more than religion because it's been made into movies and it's a saying, you're a Judas.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder why Barrett never went, I wonder what they mean. Did Judas Priest maybe thought it was a music thing? I don't know. That's interesting.
Lady Gaga introduced him to Judas. Apparently there was a song.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And
that's
she
how
reenacted the Last
Barrett
Supper
learned
and
to Judas' scare it was.
Okay, interesting.
So
Interesting day for me. A Good Friday. A Good Friday, which is the Friday before Christmas, Ryan. Before Easter. Ryan, now you know.
he's got that was a hiking trip gone wrong, Ryan. But for another time.
Look, well,
It was behind a rock.
This
Hey,
is-
I don't want to be this guy.
it's been a long week.
I don't want to be this guy.
This week has been a month.
Let's talk. Now, Paolo, football's a fantastic thing. La Liga's a thing. And you never cease to amaze me with some of the anecdotes that you bring up. And now we have a segment. It's called Paolo's Weird World of Football. Ryan, we got a graphic for it. It's incredible.
Oh, you see, they did
It's incredible.
the terrible job that I want. Look at that.
It's incredible. Is that Cancelo's hair in the middle one?
It could be. It does look very Cancelo-ish.
This is incredible. Paolo's Weird World of Football. The grass is growing there, by the way. Probably going to have to get the groundsman
Yes, the
to
grass is getting longer in the picture.
We're gonna need the groundsman.
So what I said to James is that for the next few weeks, we're going to be doing a La Liga edition of Paolo's Weird World of Football.
Yeah.
So make it a bit Spanish.
Yeah,
So he put the Spanish
Put
flag
the whole
over it.
flag in it.
yeah. No, he's
That's what he did.
it's made it slightly opaque, but it is there.
He went, could I make this look nicer? I've got a full packet of knickknacks.
What is a gherkin on my neck?
Let me just put that on. Let me do whatever Spanish flag.
So he's just. I mean, this is. Ryan, you talk about that priest who should get half their pay. I mean, this is James taking liberties. Hey, here's a brief. He goes, all right, well, if it's going to be La Liga, let's just put the
Just
Spanish
put the
flag.
I
Spanish
love
flag
how
on it.
he's
Well,
not the way.
thank you,
He's
James.
not here to own it either.
No. He's just like, oh, well, you know what, I'm
I gave it my best.
I'm eating drill horse in my bed.
Change logo, check.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Knickknacks.
I'm back to the gherkins and knickknacks. All right, Paolo, what do we
Anyway,
got?
it's terrible. So listen, why we change it is because Paolo's Weird World of Football, we're going to be doing the La Liga edition for the next few weeks.
Yep.
Because a little while ago, we had our good friend Enrique here talking about La Liga.
Yeah.
And we said, we love La Liga. We don't talk enough about it. People don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
But it's not about scores, stats, numbers, goal. Get the stories.
Yes.
Why are these clubs important? Because we all know weird stories about English clubs, right?
Yeah.
That's why we like English clubs.
Absolutely. That's
So
all
we just
shoved
want-
it down our throat.
Exactly. Well, less shoving down your throat and doing it in a humorous way here. We're going to tell these weird stories about the clubs, interesting stories about clubs in La Liga. And maybe you go, I don't know who to support in La Liga. I don't want Real Madrid, or I don't want Barcelona, or, oh, Real Madrid, Barcelona, let me try something else. And maybe we'll tell you about some clubs or some stories. And you go, oh, that's interesting. I connect.
People
right?
connect with stories.
They connect with stories. They connect with narrative.
Yes.
But before I get into that, I just want to tell you a weird story that happened in Portugal this week. Monday night. Now,
So that's not Spain though.
not yet. We'll get there.
Okay,
right?
that's
I'm
Portugal.
doing a twofer. I'm doing a double. Monday night, the title race in Portugal is quite tight this season. It's very seldom Benfica, Porto, Sporting are all strong. It probably hasn't happened for 25 years. All three legitimately can win the league, and you just have to look in the Champions League. Sporting knocked out Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
Benfica are probably going to go through over Barcelona.
Yep.
And Porto are probably going to knock out Atletico Madrid. So they're doing well. It reflects in the Champions League. Benfica have a match against a team called Belenenses SAD. Belenenses SAD.
Sad.
Right?
Yeah.
Would you believe it if I told you Benfica played against 9 men who had 2 goalkeepers, were 7-0 up by halftime and still didn't win? Only in the Portuguese league.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Benfica played against 9 players who had 2 goalkeepers. They went 7-0 up and they still didn't win.
Benfica was 7-0 up and didn't win.
And didn't win against a team with 9 players, 2 goalkeepers.
When did this happen?
Monday night. So what happens is Belenenses is sad, okay? Belenenses were one of the original big clubs in Portugal,
Uh-huh.
right? Benfica, Sporting, Belenenses. They were the 3 big clubs from Lisbon.
Yeah.
Belenenses became a bit of a mess. A couple of years ago, the business side of Belenenses and the football side of Belenenses had a falling out, and the business side of Belenenses kicked out the football side, took over their place, and the football side had to start again. So there's 2 Belenenses.
Okay. Kind of like Wimbledon.
SAD, kinda, right?
Yeah.
So, but this Belenenses currently is just a mess. They've been up and down. They're a nightmare. There's always something going on there. They emailed the Portuguese league on Friday night, say, listen, we have a COVID outbreak. We can't make Monday's game. The league WhatsApp back. The president of the league sends a WhatsApp back saying, no, we've checked our records. You've got 8 players. The rules we put in ahead of COVID says if you can put out 8 players, the game goes ahead, right? So they have to play the game. And it's Benfica. It's sellout, right? You sell out your stadium three times a season when those 3 come. So they reluctantly go ahead with the game. Of their 9 players that they can put out, look at that. That's the team. 9 players. One of the outfield players is a goalkeeper. So there's the goalkeeper, but I'm not sure which other one is also a goalkeeper. So they had a goalkeeper playing outfield, right?
Incredible. 9
players. Benfica who are flying, right? Benfica could have beat Barcelona a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're flying 7-0 up at halftime. They go in, halftime come out. Brilliant only come out with 7 players. Game has to stop at 6. Game gets called off at 6. Kickoff, knock the ball out once or twice. The outfield goalkeeper from the halfway line kicks the ball out for a goal kick and goes down. Injured. 6 players, game called off.
So what happened? Is it a 2-0 forfeit? Or?
So because the game kicked off, they couldn't take the forfeit. So it's currently they don't know what to do. The game's sitting undecided. No result has been given. It's a whole big mess. No one wants to deal with it. The league's blaming the club. The club's blaming the league. Benfica's blaming everybody.
Genius. Whoever the technical lawyer guy
figured that out
at Belench is, that is the guy I want as a mate.
Senzo last week complained when Paulinho from Sporting got Emre Can sent off.
Yeah.
I said, if you're going to give a Portuguese a chance to Portuguese,
yes,
don't be surprised when he does. That's what you say. Whoever's running this at Belench, who knows the rules.
There's a Jorge, a George.
The guy Portuguese.
A Paulo, he Portuguese.
The guy Portuguese.
I just want to hear that again. If you're going to give a Portuguese guy.
If you're going to give a Portuguese guy a chance to Portuguese, he's going to Portuguese.
Love it. I love it. This is insane.
It's a beautiful story.
I'm going to look into the story. That's what I'm reading every article tonight. That's what I'm doing
The
tonight.
Portuguese league is brilliant. Something like this happens 2 or 3 times a season. There's always something. It's hilarious. It's a brilliant league.
They need a drive to survive for Portuguese league.
Oh no, it's the best. I love it. There's always some drama. Lisbon derby this weekend. There's always some drama.
Amazing.
Okay, now Weird World of Football La Liga edition. I want to talk to you about a club. We've spoken about it at Let's Go Bilbao, right? Now, everybody loves it when your club is made up from guys from around the area. We're speaking about Crystal Palace earlier. We like Barcelona. We talk about mentioning the Busby Babes.
Yeah.
At Let's Go Bilbao, take it to the extreme, right? Because as you know, and people may not know, they only sign players from their region. Now, they're from a region in Spain called the Basque area, right? And we always hear about Catalan independence, but the Basque region is also the same. They see themselves, they'd like to be an independent entity. And they're split between, there's a Spanish Basque region and a French Basque region, right? So Atletico Bilbao fall on the Spanish side. They play in the Spanish region. They were the dominant club of the 1930s. 6 of the 10 seasons in the 1930s, they finished either second or first. And they've never shied away from signing players who are either born in the area or received a significant part of their football education in the area. Yeah. So they've got a group of clubs, feeder clubs that you would have played for them. So either if you played for that club or you're born in the area, do you play? Now, you might think as football globalizes, this is going to become a problem for them.
Yeah.
Atletico Bilbao, signing only players from Bilbao, have never been relegated.
It's unbelievable.
It's outstanding. Them, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they've never been relegated. Come close.
Yeah.
Never been relegated.
Incredible.
And they never shied away from this policy because the other team in this region is Real Sociedad, who are doing really well this season. I'd love them to win, just for a difference.
David Silva's in there.
David Silva's in there doing all the things, but they're probably going to roll de Thomas. Oh, what a player that guy is. He's just menace. Like if you just want to talk menace footballer, go check this guy out. Real Sociedad playing this weekend. When are they playing? I'll check out their fixture here. They're playing Real Madrid on Saturday. Real
That's
Sociedad.
Awesome. Xabi Alonso's from there, isn't it?
Xabi Alonso's from there, so he could play
Mikel
for
Arteta.
Mikel Arteta.
He's from
They're from the academy there. They're notoriously friends growing up. Real Sociedad played Real Madrid. Check them out.
Yeah.
Raul de Thomas. Violence of a man.
Violence
of a man. David Silva's in there. So they're also they had the same policy but then they broke it in the late 80s, signed John Aldridge, an Irishman, of all people. Not
Liverpool.
a Brazilian, not an Argentine, an Irishman.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're going to do it.
Liverpool Aldridge.
Liverpool Aldridge. They signed him from Liverpool, so it was quite a big coup at the time to get him, right? So they broke away from the policy, but Atletico Bilbao have stuck to it, right? Only bringing in players. There's some weird discrepancies around it, because of course when you make the rules, you can kind of make the rules, right? So there's a couple of like variations around it. It's kind of strict, but it's not. That even players, there's like a disparity between even players, even if you're ancestrally from there, there's certain players that have not been allowed to play there just because the ancestral link is too far. So Asensio, for example, his family's from there, but when it was floated as a youngster for him to play, they said, no, the link's not tight enough.
That's unbelievable.
You've got to be born here, come through the system, right?
That's unbelievable.
It's interesting, right? Diego Forlan had conversations with them because of his great-grandfather. But again, they said links too tight. And Higuain, same thing. Also, the links weren't too close enough.
Wow.
Vicente Lizarazu.
Now, French Basque, French all-time great left foot, that guy,
Right.
Bayern Munich legend.
I mean, he was one of the first modern fullbacks.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays a fullback's so important. Lizarazu was the first guy to kind of show that's going to happen, right?
Jeez, he was brilliant.
He was the first French Basque to play for Atletico Bilbao.
So it's all Basque, you're welcome.
All Basque. Well, he was the first one. He was the first one that kind of broke the rule. There's been one or two afterwards, none really of that repute. Griezmann. There was a argument about Griezmann because Griezmann's got French, Spanish, and Portuguese links, right? Griezmann was in the Real Sociedad system, kind of came through the system, but there's always been a theoretical debate. Could we sign Griezmann? And it's been found that, and this is before he became superstar, they had the conversation, does he qualify? Not even Griezmann qualified, even though he came through the academies. So it's like a loose...
I'd love to know who decides.
There's a panel, there's a committee within the club that decides these rules. As you read through it, there's exceptions, disparities, description, but by and large, majority of the players, and there's big players, Javier Martinez,
Some player.
Ander Herrera,
Some player.
really good player, and your very, very expensive keeper, he was super overpriced, but this is the thing that Atletico Bilbao do. So in Spain, you got a buyout clause. So as long as you put the buyout clause, we didn't really hear much about it till Neymar. You don't need to negotiate. Club pays, done, you go. And Atletico Bilbao stick to their buyout clause. You do not get a player from them for free or for easy. Anyone who remembers Ander Herrera's story, nobody leaves them easily because they know, I can't replace you easily. Right? It's quite a story to get a player in your place. So for Chelsea, Kepa, they pushed to get a world record transfer fee because they know it's going to cost us a lot of money it's impossible. We can't replace. We can't just spend the money to replace him. There's been talk about this is a discriminatory policy, and it's like, well, now you're only signing players. It's been challenged. The big star now is Inaki Williams. Now listen, if you haven't seen Inaki Williams play, do yourself a favor.
Some striker.
I think he's definitely one of the top 3 quickest players in La Liga.
Jeez,
He's a flyer.
Yeah.
He's a flyer, but really talented player. Now, his family of Ghanaian descent, the story goes they walked across deserts to end up in Spain.
What?
Right? It's crazy. He tells the story, only found this out recently, where his parents told him his mother was pregnant with him, walking across deserts to get to Spain for a better life. Right? So he was born in the region, so he qualifies. There was only one black player who played for Atletico Bilbao before. Inaki Williams, in their 100-odd-year history, is the first black player to score for them. Right?
Amazing.
He's of Ghanaian and Basque descent now. His brother also plays for the team, so his brother's also come through,
I saw that actually.
Played a couple of games, and he's the next big star. Like, I think he's got a couple of injury problems, he's in and out. But if that guy stays fit, the world's his oyster. Like, really top player. With throwback, remember, Munayin.
Ike Munayin.
Ike Munayin.
Great dyed blonde hair.
They called him the Messi of the Basque region. Of course, he got any short play of anyway.
Yeah, he's left-footed and short.
You know, that's what he is. So he was a great player, came through. You'll remember that they had that great run in the Europa League, knocked out Manchester United under Bielsa. A lot of their players did really well. And that's the story of Atletico Bilbao and their Basque-only transfer policy. There's no sign they'll ever step out of it. They don't feel it's a hindrance to their success. They're always okay in the league, have good seasons, bad seasons, but they're always okay. But you got to imagine what a hotbed of talent the region is to keep sustaining the club.
We're in La Liga, don't worry about it.
In the top division forever. Never been relegated.
They've only sold, is it like 4 players in the last like 50 years or something, right?
It's something ridiculous.
It's Javi Martinez, Kepa, Ander Herrera, and I forget who the other one is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like you said, that is insane. I didn't realize that you could negotiate with the rules and massage them like
as you go through the rules. So I've been looking, because I don't want to be a fool, right? I want to make sure that I get it as proper, as close as possible. I've tried dumb it down, but yeah, as you go through, there's a great article on Wikipedia. It's actually the Atletico Bilbao signing policy. Go check it out. But as you go through, you'll start seeing the discrepancies. But listen, overall, great policy. An exception here and there in 90 years. Give the guys a break. You know what I mean?
Sometimes tradition is important. Like I know it's hated now in this time of, like, sometimes you got to stick to what you are, right? So the Basque country also great treated meat. They're really famous for their treated pork down there. I don't want to go through the Sociedad story that I've already bored people with, but I didn't realize that, like how. Because I knew about the policy, but I didn't realize there was a panel.
Yeah, and it's about essentially pride.
Yeah, it's like a real thing.
Yeah.
It's like a medieval. Like, they probably gather around, lay their swords down.
I'd imagine eating cured pork.
That's exactly it. Yeah. It melts on your tongue. It's unbelievable, that treated pork. So I think the most expensive pork in the world comes from that region. And I think there was a documentary once where they went to one of the farmers and told him how much they sell it for. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And he's like, what? I can't believe that's going around the world. Atletico Bilbao.
Listen, if you want to watch them, Supersport La Liga.
Yeah.
Loads of games this weekend, but like good games. Sevilla and Villarreal.
That's good.
I mean, that's a good game. Both disappointed in the Champions League so far. Good game. That's on tomorrow. Barcelona, Real Betis. Give a watch. I love Real Betis. They're also just violence. Atletico Madrid, Mallorca. Real Madrid and Real Sociedad, that's on Saturday night.
That's a top of the league challenge.
It is. It is, right? It is, right? The winner takes it all. And then at Atletico Bilbao, if you want to watch them, I see they're here on Monday night. Monday night on Supersport La Liga.
Atletico Bilbao.
Paulo's Weird World of Football La Liga edition, that's Atletico Bilbao. So maybe you don't have a team to support in Spain.
Go look up the story.
Or you don't want the big three. I want someone else. Let me be hipster. Got an awesome shirt, by the way.
They're always great kits.
Thick white and red stripes.
And their second strip, second or third strip is killer this season.
Their tradition is green. They'll sometimes have a green away. But yeah, I mean, listen, great kits. Great kits. So if you want a shirt, nobody wants, bit of a hipster, you're looking for something, untapped club, not everyone supports, but they're still kind of cool in a big league. Atletico Bilbao, can't go wrong.
And you can be the cool guy, right? Like, kind of tell, why do you support Atletico Madrid? I'm into tradition.
Exactly.
I'm old school, bro.
People go, who's that? You say, well, listen, if you have to ask, you don't know. If you have to ask, you don't
Flex.
know. That's it.
Paulo's Weird World of Football La Liga edition. I like it. I like that.
Big time.
This is the official La Liga ball.
That's the big time ball.
So...
Our friend Enrique, our friends at La Liga Africa, love him.
I called him Enrique, but it's Enrique. It's his first name.
Enrique, yeah.
La Liga ball official. I wish I'd met Enrique. Where was Enrique 30 years ago when I needed to be rich and be the guy with the official La Liga ball?
I know. Oh, the people he would have introduced you to.
But he's here now. La Liga, it's on. I like that. Paulo, have a good weekend, man. That was good. I enjoyed that. I learned some stuff. I thought I knew everything about that topic. I didn't. I didn't know Lizarazu played for them.
Yeah.
And he's one of my favorites of all time, Bayern Munich.
He would have been, yeah. It would have been.
Absolute juggernaut, that guy. Let it go bye. Have a great weekend, Paulo. Whatever you're up to, I hope it's the best weekend you've ever had in your life.
It hopefully involves some sleep, but I doubt it.
Just try and sleep. But, I don't know. Ryan, you got a wedding this weekend, huh?
Yep. Got the 1st of first of 5.
Good luck with the date. I hope, even though she's your mate, I hope she doesn't get on the wine too early. You know what I mean? Very embarrassing once your date gets drunk at a wedding to your mate. All right, Ryan, have a great weekend. To the boys in the back.
Thanks, man.
An awesome week. To you at home, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to do this every single day of my life with people that I love. And I just hope that these 2 hours, in these times that we live in, we understand where we are. Again, new variant, whatever it may be. Not everybody deals with things the same. And I think anxiety is a very real thing that I'm now learning about as well. I've learned that people respond to, and it is a crisis now, right? People have all sorts of problems, but they respond to crises differently. And to all of you who keep saying that we give you 2 hours of a break, you may have your, I don't want to cheapen it by calling it mental health issues. I think let's call it anxiety in this case in particular, or you may not be dealing with whatever it may be that's going on right now very well. If these 2 hours are 2 hours where you laugh, smile, gasp, whatever it may be, it's an absolute honor to do that. And the MKT Show, ladies and gentlemen, for now and for this week is the hell out of here.